fans, and welcome to Countdown to Green here on Maconi Entertainment for the coverage of the Full-Length Cup Challenge. I'm Kirk Mills, and alongside me here this afternoon will be Dylan Coyle here in the booth, with our producer DJ Lyon running the show and bringing you every angle tonight through Whiplash Sim Cams. All right, so we made it to the playoffs. This is the round of 12. Begins right here, right now, at the Magic Mile at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Take a look right here. We're finally here, round of 12 to start this thing. 12 drivers are still alive in the hunt for this championship, but only 8 after the next 3 races will move on. Andrew Dyson comes in with a very nice cushion of 34 points to the good. You got guys like Jonathan Delaney, Paul Hill, Lucas Hoytsma. They all have room to breathe for now, but it's still tighter than you. It's super tight from that point on back. You could have anybody being eliminated at this point, and all these drivers are here today. It's going to be a big talking point as all the drivers are here, so it's definitely going to be important to get stage points. Now, Dylan, let me bring you in here. With that kind of pressure on the bubble, tell me, what do you think's going to happen tonight, and what are your hopes here? I mean, tell us about this racetrack.
I mean, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, it's one of those racetracks that it is a mile long, but it races exactly like what you'd imagine a short track to race, like only 2 to 7 degrees worth of banking, 2 degrees on the straightaways, up to 7 degrees in the corners. So you really do have that short track, flat racetrack kind of vibe here. And there's nothing really like it else on the NASCAR calendar. So you're going to see the elbows kind of come out. You're going to see some slide jobs appear throughout the course of this race. And with it being a 301 lap race, obviously, it's going to lead to attrition, I think, playing a big part.
Absolutely. We saw that earlier today in the truck race. Whole lot of attrition. But tonight, you're taking a look at a picture of our previous winner last week, Nicholas Vroman, Vroom, winning the Bristol Neon Night Race 500. And that was one heck of a show last week as well. Not a lot of cars finished on the lead lap. We got a lot more starters in this race than we did that one. But you can take a look right here. 301 laps, full length. That's exactly what the title of the series is, Full Length Cup Challenge. 70 and 185 for the stages, and 8 tire sets given to the drivers. So it's all about taking... And a lot of different racing lines here at New Hampshire. Drivers are now popping up on the grid, and we're going to start the starting lineup for tonight's race for New Hampshire. Starting on the pole tonight will be the driver of the number 83, Adam Benefiel, starting on the top spot. To his outside will be Patrick Gitter in the 21 car. Starting in third tonight will be Clayton Hoffman in the 92, and to his outside, Jonathan Delaney in the 6. Starting in fifth tonight will be Joseph Galata, and to his outside, Robert Miller will start 6th. 7th place tonight will be Nicholas Vroman, and to his outside, Lucas Hoytsma. Starting in 9th tonight will be Dustin Hall, and to his outside, Australia's own Neil Pearson.
Cameron Stone will start on the inside of row 6 with Paul Hill starting in P12 alongside on the outside there. In the 13th, Ralph Hutchinson in that 8 Camaro, or I should say Chevrolet machine, will start alongside Alex Murray in that Toyota. In 15th, Stephen Williams alongside Matt DiCiani, the Australian and the American, alongside in row 8, with Nolan Hodgson in that 12 machine. And 17th with Andrew Dyson in 18th, another Australian in the field. Evan Misnard will start in 19th, and rounding out row 10 is Tyler Hunter.
Starting in 21st, Sean O'Brien Jr., another playoff driver. To his outside, Tanner Marty in 22nd. 23rd tonight will be Paul Gallimore and Thomas Kulmacheski. As the rest of the field is going to be scrolling by on your screen, continuing on as we get ready to start things off. The leaders right now are heading through turns 3 and 4, and we're about to get this thing underway. You can see all the drivers cross your screen to finish things out. Here we go. From New Hampshire, Adam Benefiel, Patrick Gitter on the front row. Let's get things started out right through the restart zone. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing from New Hampshire, boys. Patrick Gitter takes the early lead. He was able to get out in front of the 83 of Benefiel. Side by side for second still right now between Jonathan Delaney on the top side and the 83 of Benefiel on the bottom.
Crossing the line to finish lap 1, it's Patrick Gitter still in the lead and has multiple car lengths in front of this 2x2 battle going on for P2. Delaney is doing a really solid job of still holding on to it on the outside, has the momentum, and clears into turn 3.
Just like that, he's able to find a spot. Adam Benefiel there was able to find a spot just in front of the Altus Esports entries of Robert Miller and Clayton Hoffman right there. So now we got just the very beginning laps here, people trying to get settled in, trying to find a nice spot to run for the meantime. I mean, are you somebody who likes to push early in these races in New Hampshire, or do you think these drivers are going to start trying to save some tire?
Absolutely not. If we have a long green flag run, you're going to be screaming for dear mercy if you're trying to push hard right now on this fresh set of tires. You're looking at under green almost to 1/3 of the way through the race, right? There's a chance that these drivers have enough fuel to make it around 100 laps, 100 miles. This is a 301 lap race, 301 mile race, or I should say with a little bit of change, it's a 1.058 mile racetrack, not just 1 mile. Those 0.58 miles, they do make a difference.
So I do want to make sure we get this out of the way early. Our leader, Patrick Gitter, still has the gold-plated nameplate. However, he is not in the playoffs anymore. So he was eliminated in the first round. So he might be leading the race with those gold banners. You can tell who's in the playoffs by those gold banners. But in this case, he must have forgotten to take them off. But he is leading this race right now with those on. As it looks like that, I think Delaney's trying to dive it in and try to catch up to the back bumper. He's running a very aggressive entry line compared to what Patrick Gitter is running as they're single file throughout the rest of the field.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much single file, but all of a sudden there's a battle for third going on behind Delaney right now. But Delaney, I'll say this, he's definitely closed in. If you're the lead of this field, you are the control car, right? You don't have to be in first by, 20 car lengths. All you got to be in first by is 1 car length because, again, you control where the field is, how fast the field goes, and it's still first, right? Winning a really scrappy race or a scrappy game, if you will, at 1-0 is just as good as winning it by 5 goals, something like that, right? It's still a win in the standings.
And you want to get locked in. Now, that's the major point these guys are trying to do. Right now, the 6 car, if he were to win this race, he's locked in. Same thing with Cameron Stone, taking a look there in the 57, getting by Dustin Hall in the 1. That is for position. We also saw Clayton Hoffman get by Adam Benefiel. That was for 3rd place. That was all taken care of. So now Benefiel goes back 1 spot. Take a look right there. Alex Murray for that Precision Speed Solutions entry in the 7 car, making a move on Dustin Hall as well. Dustin Hall going the wrong direction early on.
Go in the wrong direction, but we'll wait and see if these strategies...
Whoa! Yeah, sorry. There was a very close moment. The 6 car dove it in super deep on the 21, and Patrick Gitter started to interrupt there. Just got to say, 6 car wants that lead, and he wants it now. He's diving it in deep every single time, and he almost door banged him going through 3 and 4.
Yeah, wow, that was asking a lot from those tires, and now all of a sudden he's within the grasp of Clayton Hoffman in that 92 machine, looking to get into P2, running a little bit higher up this track through 3 and 4. And that's kind of the thing here at New Hampshire. It's all about your position on the track. You're going to have to use those tires up to try and make these moves work, as we're already on lap 10 of 301. And here's a little peek inside how the sausage is made, right? We're already at 0.3 of fall off for the leader. So things like that, we're going to start seeing exponentially grow in terms of best lap time to last lap time getting worse.
Definitely something you'll notice. Now, take a look right here on your screen. This is a battle between a non-playoff driver and a playoff driver. That ugly-looking purple car. I have never liked the way that car looked. It's an eyesore, but he says it's an advantage to him because it makes people's eyes gravitate towards him. Easy to find. He's battling right now with Joseph Galata in the 99 car on the outside. And that 99, we know he's fast. He's somebody who's been up front. He was able to win a couple races already. He's definitely somebody, if he would have ran the whole season, probably would still be in contention for the playoffs. But because he only ran a handful of races, he wasn't necessarily able to stay and compete for the playoff. But now he's just trying to show up all the playoff drivers and win as many as he can. He's all over the back bumper of that playoff driver in front of him, Lucas Hoytsma, right now.
Yeah, he is all right there. You know, these guys are still trying to put themselves in the best possible spot by the time that this season winds down in Phoenix. As long as you can get your points position from where it could be to the max potential that it is right now to that's the actuality at the time the checkered flag falls for the season. That's the whole thing that matters, right? Just making sure you maximize your current potential as this season goes on. All right, so we're about to go into lap 14 of 301. Times are continuing to drop, and they're dropping actually a fair distance more than I would have expected. Some of them, the leader right now in Paul Gitter has gone down to now 4/10 slower than his best lap time. In second place, it's also kind of similar for Delaney. It's a half second off of his best lap time as these two drivers go side by side. Some good battles, but once they show up, like this one is between Stone and Murray, it's, oh, look at that, a dive bomb to the inside.
Yeah, that 7 car, we know he has a short run speed. We've seen that last week at Bristol. He was able to make up a lot of ground, but over the course of the run, he had a little bit of a struggle making that car work on the long run. Right now, he pulls in behind the 57 of Cameron Stone, who is very much looking for a win. He'd love to have one. He hasn't won yet this season, and Cameron Stone's one of those drivers that's just always itching for a win. He hasn't had one in a few years. And I know that he's able to do so on the short tracks. He likes short tracks, and this 1 mile track could definitely be towards his favor. Something that's interesting with him in particular, as we're riding on board with Roman right now, Cameron Stone, I mean, his average running position is in 13th. So with that in mind, he's doing really well today, running in the top 10. I mean, he's just got to continue to do that all day, but you also got to remember, only 8 cars make it to the next round, so good isn't good enough anymore. You kind of got to start stepping up your game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? With the fewer drivers in the field that are really your competition when it comes to the playoffs, the more every position starts to matter. All of a sudden, you're not just racing to be in the top 12 against a field of 16, you're racing to be in the top 8 in a field of 12 while everybody else is still on track. So lots of things start to get mixed up in terms of, you know, the bare minimum spot you want to be finishing in. No longer is it trying to finish, you know, an average finish of maybe 12th, 10th. It's now have an average finish of around 6th, depending on where you are in terms of your playoff points going into the next round. So some guys are in much better positions, as we've talked about, than other people would be.
You know, I'm starting to look at the back of the playoff grid right now. The folks in here that came 15 points to the cut line, 14, 13 even. With Sean O'Brien Jr. right now being the one furthest back in the race so far, the 65 car, currently sitting in 19th. He started 21st, so he's up a couple spots, but we know for a fact with the next-gen car, it's so hard to pass. And that's 65. You know he wants to get by as many cars as he can. He's just right now does not seem to have the speed he needs, and as well as the car in front of him, Matt DeCiani running 18th right in front of him. Both of these cars are below the cut line going into this race. DeCiani was -2, and Sean O'Brien was -15, so O'Brien needs to have a really good day, and it doesn't look like it's starting out that way. So he's going to need to start making some adjustments to make that car move towards the front. As we got a battle right now, Galata is making forward progress, actually backwards progress. He got passed by Vroman and by Cameron Stone, and now Alex Murray is trying to make a pass on that 99 car on the outside.
Yeah, and, you know, we're getting close to the point in this run where you're going to start to see a little bit, everyone's just trying to get a little bit tight on the exit of 4 there, getting into the wall. You're getting to the point here in this run where people are going to start to either tell what they need to get their cars better, or where the times are going to start to overlap.
Oh man, that 6 car dive bombed it in on the 21. 21's going to try and make an under-over move. Not enough. He's a little too loose. Let's take a look at that pass, because that was one heck of a move. If we could... Oh, well, he's gone. Are we back? Oh, okay. Having a stroke here. Bear with us. There we go. We're back, I believe. Let's see if we can't take a look and see how that pass happened, because that was one heck of a move to get the lead away from the 21 of Patrick Gitter. He kind of... Going into turn 3. Take a look at this pass right here. You see him? This is going on turns 3 and 4, I believe, on the lap leading up to the pass. You got Patrick Gitter leading this thing. That 6 car. He's starting to gain a little ground down this front straightaway. And what ends up happening is kind of wild. He's all over the back bumper now, Patrick Gitter. He's going to be to the inside, and he's going to have a shot. Going into the corner, you know that it's so hard to pass here. You really got to overcompensate for it. So he dove it so deep, he went below. He even got in the grass. That was a pass in the grass for Jonathan Delaney.
I still don't think... I hate the term the pass in the grass, because it wasn't a pass. It wasn't a pass.
It was. He just passed him.
I'm talking about the original reason for the moniker.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But for now, that 6 car did pull off a pass in the grass. That was awesome.
I'll accept it for this moment in time. Just for this moment in time.
Well, while we're here talking about that, one thing I would like to bring forward to the table, that driver right there, Paul Hill, he's having one heck of a year this year, Paul Hill. You know, thinking about him, he's 3rd right now in terms of the lineup. He was only, I believe, 6 points to the good, which isn't necessarily the safest of margins. But he is still running really well. 12th place, that's not going to cut it for the long run. He's going to be needing to move forward, as he's actually fallen back from 12th. So with that there, you know that he's going to be there at the end of the race, but he might miss out on some stage points if he can't figure something out before the end of the stage.
I mean, the biggest thing here is just making sure that, you know, as this run continues to progress, just see where your car is once you do get to that first pit stop cycle, right? It's not necessarily about where your car is 26 laps into the race, because long run speed is different than short run speed, right? It's just about knowing what you've got, knowing how the track is starting to, you know, gel or not gel with your car, what your setup is. These are open setups here. It's, I wish more leagues were open setups, right? You start to see a little bit of the mechanical mindset start to show itself in series like this. And this is a pretty good battle right here, obviously, as we're talking about Hill and everyone around.
Yep, that 7 car. Alex Murray, we talked about it earlier. He has fast launch speed, but over the course of the run, it looks like he's just losing a little bit of time here and there, dropping back yet another spot to outside of, looks like 12th now. But up front, we have a development happening for 2nd place right now. Adam Benefiel made it past Patrick Gitter a couple laps ago, and that 83 is running a slightly different line than everybody else. He's using the apron to help the car rotate and get better exits. That 83 just seems to have something. And watch this entry right here. He goes all the way down, I believe, to like right below. He's using the flat to help the car turn. And that is phenomenal, because that's not something you see in the sim very often, where you don't use that part of the racing surface. But with open setups like you talked about, and with, you know, how flat this track is, it can be used to your advantage. And he is wrapping the bottom better than anybody. He's catching up to the back bumper of the leader. He's going to be right there as he crosses the line to complete lap 29 to start lap 30.
This is called de-wedging the car. It gets you a little bit better bite on entry, and if you have the car set up in a way where you can wrap around the middle and then kind of double apex it like we just saw right there, you can get a bit of momentum, and here we go. Almost to that left rear quarter panel of the 6 machine of Jonathan Delaney, going to have a little peek down the inside on the exit of 4. Listen, it's all about catching up, but making the pass is another thing. He's had the entire track to work with, right? Down on the apron, all the way back up to the wall. Well, he's not going to get the benefit of running all the way up to the wall on exit when trying to make the move. But he is side by side, and he packs air onto that left rear. Here's 2 drivers fighting for the lead of this race.
Oh, man. Yeah, 83, we've known him to have speed on the long run all year. He's competing with Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports 6 car there, Jonathan Delaney. It's Team Conti and Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports side by side for the lead here in the full-length Cup Challenge, trying to make it work. Bottom line, looks like it's got more rotation, and it looks like he's going to have a run down the back. Will he be able to clear? Not quite. This time, will the 83 send it in and get it clear? Not quite either. The 6 car was able to dive it in, and it looks like the 83 will clear on the exit of turn 4. New leader, Adam Benefield, to the top spot.
All right, so now here's my question. We see Benefield in the lead. Let's see, so that line changes completely once he has the lead. It's a bit of a defensive line trying to take the air away from the 6 of Jonathan Delaney. Remember, these Cup cars, they're not next gen anymore, right? We're in the 4th season in real world competition of using them. They generate so much downforce from underneath, that ground effect, and the diffuser sends all of that turbulent air around centrally from the rear. So if you're able to take that aero grip away, and yes, there is a lot of aerodynamics at play at New Hampshire, more than you'd expect, even though a lot of it comes from a mechanical aspect here. Because it is so flat, you need that heavy dose of both mechanical and aerodynamic grip, as opposed to maybe something like Kansas, where you've got a lot of banking and it's also progressive. You're focusing more on that aerodynamic grip there maybe than you would be here, but it still means a lot, especially mid-corner.
While we were talking there, Nicholas Vroman and Cameron Stone have been closing up on the back bumper here for many laps now. It seems like these guys are in this little conga line, can't seem to get separated. This is what it's all about. Once you get up to the back bumper, it's hard to make the pass. You got to dive it in deep. That's what the 99's trying to do. Not able to make it work quite yet, but these are all playoff guys, right? They're trying to make the playoffs, trying to make it to the next round. They need every point they can get. And we know the stage ends on lap 70. So with that there, you got to be able to pay attention to stay in the top 10. You got to stay ahead of the 62 and gain as many spots as you can. Right now you see that 57 car Coors Light machine. He's right now running in 8th place, so he'd gain a few points there, but he'd like every point he can get, I'm sure, trying to pass a couple guys he's racing for a championship right in front of him. Those 3 are all battling for position in the championship right now.
Absolutely, and way late on the brakes right there is Galata in that 9th position. So, okay, we're around halfway through, not halfway through, but we're inching closer to halfway through what I would consider a full fuel run. And these drivers are more than able to kind of to get a sense of how their cars are performing. What you see?
Sorry, the 95 just cut off the 57 after the 57 tried to show a nose to the outside, and he was able to cut in front of him and hold him off. But now the 57's still looking to the outside. I think the 57's quicker right now, but he's just having a hard time finding a place to get by him. Watch him right here. He's going to go a little higher into the corner. Nope, this time the 95 goes up to block, so the 57's kind of stuck running the middle lane, and he's going to have to deal with the 99, who's also on his quarter panel right now.
Yeah, this is some good racing right here. And, you know, we talk about the attrition potentially being something that it would be problematic, but it's been pretty solid to see so far. All of this hard racing, not much contact between any of the drivers in the field here tonight. It's been fair. We've seen different lines at play. And, you know, it's something you usually see, right, in a modified race where you have a really flat racetrack. And these modified drivers usually set up their cars in wickedly different ways to try and maybe wrap the outside or wrap the bottom, trying to just inch away at some of the, you know, speed that they're seeking. And once they find that, they're able to do things like what the 57 of Stone is doing right now, kind of wrap that bottom, that apron. And even if you lose some time on exit, you may have had a net gain of time through entry and through rolling through the center.
Well, what I can tell you right now is the leader's actually catching up to lap traffic now, pulling up on Kevin Zosiak in the 37. as we're watching this battle here. He's got a ways to go before he's able to make more ground, but you can see he's pulled away from Delaney, and it just shows how much long run speed that 83 has, that he's going to be the one to beat here tonight, I think, if this long run speed continues to be unmatched by anyone else in the top group. I mean, with that driver in the lead, that's going to put a lot of concern out of all the other drivers. They're going to be thinking, I need to be able to get as much spots as I can, because right now if that 83 wins this race, he's locked in. I need to get every point I can to be able to try and, you know, get up to the top group and avoid losing time and getting eliminated here, because that 83 seems to be the car to beat tonight.
Yeah, that 83 is wrapping the bottom so well, and it's something that just amazed me from just watching Benefiel at work is not only, you know, that car is not completely down the apron. If you've got that left side kind of like dipping down onto the apron, you're almost getting that car to turn a little bit more than you would be otherwise, just because you know, the right side of the car is on 7 degrees of track. The left side of the car is on 2 or even 0 degrees of the racetrack as the 99 goes down the inside. That was a bit of a dive on the 95 right there.
You know, I got to tell you right there, Cameron Stone made his way by Nicholas Vroman there, so Vroman going the wrong direction right now. But take a look who's entered the picture right behind these two. If you look just behind him, you get a very silver car that's really loose right now, almost spun the car off the exit of turn 4. But A-car Ralph Hutchinson, he's also going for a championship. He got wrecked out of Bristol with a lot of points to spare, and he got real lucky that another car of Clayton Hoffman, or not Clayton Hoffman, sorry, another driver got involved in an accident that eliminated them from the round. And because of that, he got lucky and was able to advance even though his car was toast. So now he's trying to take advantage of that opportunity, trying to make a pass on Vroman, and this is for more playoff points. So this is going to help him out in that 8 car, currently sitting in 10th, 13 points behind the cut line. He needs every playoff point, stage point he can get.
Stage 1 will be ending at lap 70, exactly like the actual real-world NASCAR Cup Series race here at New Hampshire. That is set to take place tomorrow. You know, it's, and you can speak truth to this as well, Kirk. We do so many series here on Maconi Entertainment, and they all do have different rule sets. It's so simple when we're talking about one full-length series that follows the NASCAR rule set almost to a T. Makes it very simple.
The only thing that they don't follow is the choose cone rule, which I still think would be a great addition to the series. But everything else seems to be identical in terms of what we do here. But another driver who just entered the picture, look at the 41 of Andrew Dyson. He was a guy who came into this race with 34 points to the good. He started P18. He just cracked the top 10 by pass. Oh, look out, spinning car, it's Cameron Stone. Caution's gonna come out. Cameron Stone, playoff driver, sitting sideways in turn 2.
A massive issue for Stone, who is already a little bit of a way back to that cut line, entering the first race in the round of 12. This could be quite... Get the damage repaired. Let's take a look at what happened. Oh, just way too hot on entry.
Yeah, he ran over the 97.
No,
yeah, luckily neither car had that much damage. They were lucky to get out of this unscathed. I think the 57 wasn't happy that it was taking so long to pass him, but I don't know. He just dove it in, and the car was loose, and he stayed in the throttle, and both cars take a little spin. Luckily, nobody hit them. Very lucky to get out of that without getting hit. Both continue. They're both back on the racetrack. Lucas Hoytsman is able to hold on to his position, but Cameron Stone drops back to outside the top 25.
Well, it's a long race, and there's attrition, and there's also a short run to the stage end. Everyone, for the most part, coming down pit road, and if you decide not to at this point, you're really going to be taking your own life into your own hands as we cross the line for lap 50. A very short run coming up here.
All right, pit stops. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and watch them when they come off pit road, and then we will go ahead and re-rack them, go on a quick break, and then we'll be right back. It looks like out of the pits, I see Miller. Robert Miller taking the win off of pit road. Clayton Hoffman, Nicholas Vroman, Adam Benefield, Jonathan Delaney, and Patrick Gitter round out your grouping there. First out of the pit road. We're going to go ahead and take a quick step aside for 1 minute. We'll be right back after these short messages. And we're back. Doubled up for the restart. A lot of cars shuffled up during that pit cycle. And it looks like 3 new drivers up at the front. Vroman and the 2 Altus eSport entries of Hoffman and the 15 car of Miller up front as we're back underway into 1.
Yeah, back for a very abbreviated stint to end stage 1. I bet you these guys are going to be pushing even harder than we saw through the first 50 or so laps of this race. They know they're probably going to go for tires at the end of stage 1. We go 3 wide in the top 5.
Oh, the leaders washed up the racetrack big time. Saved the race car, able to get back down. But the 15 car is able to hang on to the lead after almost disaster heading into the corner. This is just chaos right now up front. These guys trying to get every playoff point, stage point they can get. Miller leading this thing, trying to help his teammate.
Look at that, a dive to the inside back there, a little bit further back in the top 10. The 83 machine of Benefield wants a little piece, a little peek at the 95 down the inside on the apron. I mean, he's doing a great job of de-wedging that machine, and he's pushing like hell right now because, hey, why not? It's a short stint.
You know, that side-by-side battle for second has been going on since the restart, and neither one of them have the advantage right now, as it looks like we had Hoytsma get loose off turn 2, saves the race car, loses only 1 spot out of that. Luckily able to hang on to the car, but Andrew Dyson is all the way up now to the 6th place spot. That is a phenomenal recovery. He started 18th, he's up to 6th. What a start to this race for that 41 car. As he's 3 wide right now, look out, 21 of Patrick Gitter in the 6th. Almost made contact with them that time by.
Yeah, Dyson is dicing them up. Please tell me you've used that dumb pun before. I hope you have, because if not, I call dibs on that one. Chasing down that 21 machine right now of Gitter. Remember, Gitter was leading much of the early few laps here at New Hampshire. And once again, Benefield going down on the apron, left side's on the apron, right side's on the asphalt. Has a little peek down there again to de-wedge the car on exit of the corner. Has some momentum, but not as much as he would have liked.
I think that line works better on the long run, I would assume, but they're 3 wide again. Holy cow. 21, the 41, and the 6 are running so vastly different lanes that it looks like they're almost 3 wide on entry. But because the way they're running the corner, it's actually single file, which is just wild to me. But yeah, Altus Esports, 2 entries up front, controlling this field of Miller and Hoffman. Remember, we saw Robert Miller. He was able to win at Darlington. And Hoffman in the 92, we just saw him get a win. And he was the only driver I've ever heard of that was angry after winning. It was quite the post-race interview with Hoffman. But now that he's up here, he's trying to battle for a championship. and he's going to be there as long as he can maintain position. Right now sitting P2 as they're side-by-side battling just a little bit further back between a playoff driver and a non-playoff driver, Neil Pearson and Nolan Hodson. I mean, Neil Pearson is having a great year as well, just didn't quite make the playoffs, but the 12 car is in a position now where he's falling backwards to 65 of, it looks like Sean O'Brien Jr. trying to make a move on him as well on the bottom.
Trying to. It's hasn't worked out completely yet. The 65 machine, though, has gotten clear of Nolan Hodgson right there. Hodgson's got a sandwich between both O'Brien Jr. and Alex Murray. Murray washes up the track just with the 12, almost like they mirror drove each other into the corner. 12 has to get off the throttle because he got tight. He pushed real tight on the exit of 4 up into the wall. I mean, they all know, right? There's 11 laps to go in this stage. They are pushing right now, and they're trying to get every position they can because they're just outside the top 10.
Looking at this battle here on the second place spot up towards the front, I know that 12 car is falling back, but I could say that Roman, I think, is hungry. I think he wants to get by that 92, and I think he has some speed to do it. I think he's slightly faster. He's been able to dive it in deeper in the center of the corner, get better rotation in the center, and he's equal on the exits. He's just got that dirty air to deal with right now, and I think he's going to be able to make a move any point in the next couple laps. He's showing that he has more speed than the 92 right now, and he's going to arc it in right here. I think he's going to get a good turn off. Not quite. The arrow blocking really holds him back. But, man, I mean, it was a great move by him and Altus Esports Entries to change up the pit strategy. It seems to be working out for him.
Yeah, it certainly does seem to be working out so far, at least till the end of this stage. I really do have questions, and we'll get to them once the caution does come out to signify the end of the stage. Just curious what the strategies are going to be with only 16, 17 laps of really used up Goodyear rubber will be. Maybe it's just right sides. I don't think that's the move, but I think at New Hampshire, because of track position being so important, you might see something like that with drivers maybe a little bit in the back. But we're on 63 right now. Miller still leads the way with Clayton Hoffman, Nicholas Froman, Adam Benefiel, and Patrick Gitter, your top 5. You're watching that battle right now for P7 between Hoytsma and Delaney. It's good, and Hoytsma, I think, is losing steam.
Actually, I believe that time by, it was Hoytsma that got by the 6 car. So in that case, Hoytsma is actually on a run. He's pushing hard, able to get by the 6. But now they got to chase down the rest of the field as the top 3, 4 cars are nose to tail, just very close. Look, they're 3 wide per second. Benefield below the line. Roman in the middle lane. They're both able to get by Robert Miller in the 15. As it looks like the 92 of Hoffman has taken the lead. Those cars look so dang identical. I guess we didn't catch when they taken the lead away. So now that 92 trying to hang on for the stage win as the rest of the cars are chasing them down, and I think they might have some more speed, especially the 83 car.
Yeah, the 83 at Benefield definitely has speed. It's just now is where you really turn the aggression level dial up to 10 because there's coming to 5 laps to go here to the end of stage 1. Benefield has made that apron, that line work very well early on. Well, now let's see if it works late in a stage with everybody pushing so hard and using up that Goodyear rubber as much as they are.
Only got to hang on to it for about 4.5 more laps, and then he'll be good to go. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because they're also catching up with some lap traffic. Daniel Llewellyn up ahead and Cliff Mullins, they're coming into the picture here soon. That's going to be a little bit of a hazard for the leader, as we only got a handful of laps to go. Looking through the rest of the top 10, I mean, we got a lot of playoff drivers here. Ralph Hutchinson, Paul Hill, Delaney. I think the majority of the top 10 are all, with the exception of, I believe, of 2 drivers, Patrick Gitter being one, and also Robert Miller being the other, that are no longer in the playoffs. Everybody else in the top 10 are playoff cars, so you really need to be in the top 10 right now to be feeling comfortable about possibly making it to the next round, as we're looking at the battle between Dyson and the 15 of Robert Miller. But up in front, remember those lap cars? Leader just caught him.
You see, you say that about feeling comfortable being in the top 10 to make the next round of the playoffs, but one, you might have a wreck with cars that are lapped right in front of you. This is getting quite hairy. And two, goodness me, as P4 back there, tank slapped the wall. I think that was Andrew Dyson. And two, if you finish in the top 10, you still have maybe two more drivers in front of you, or two more drivers in front of you separating you from the round of 8, right? It's what we talked about earlier on as a dive for the lead. It's not working out yet, but a really quick mid-quarter roll got him to the left rear quarter panel. Not there yet, but goodness me, 1 lap to go in the stage. It's intense.
Through turns 1 and 2, the 95's going way below onto the apron. He's going to go ahead and come back up the racetrack. The car's a little loose. He's able to catch it. Here we go. Down and back straightaway for the final time before the end of the stage. Will the 92 of Clayton Hoffman be able to hang on and get another stage win this season? Here we go. Final corner. Does not look like he's got the leg. That will do it. Clayton Hoffman out of turn number 4 will win stage number 1 here at New Hampshire for the full-length Cup Challenge.
That was some great racing to end this stage, and something to note. Fall off after really, really heavy, really hard racing here was around 0.6 of a second in just a very quick amount of time, that fall off.
Just like that, stage points are going to be awarded. Drivers with those names: Clayton Hoffman, Nicholas Vroman, Adam Benefiel, Andrew Dyson, Robert Miller, Patrick Gitter, Lucas Hoitzma, Jonathan Delaney, Paul Hill, and Ralph Hutchinson, all collecting stage points that time by. As they catch the pace car, huge checkups. Everybody's going to be slowing down for the pace car. They're going to be deciding here on what strategy to pull. I'm not exactly sure what they will choose to do, considering we know some guys stayed out and didn't take tires or just came down topped off. We saw that with Llewellyn and a couple guys that got lap clipped Mullins. But now that they're able to come down, they're going to have an extra set, so they'll be able to use that extra set if they want, but they're also stuck a lap down. One of them is, at least. Will the rest of the leaders choose to come down and take 4 tires or 2? Here we go.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting question. We're talking about multiple positions being gained here. I would expect that all of the drivers up front are going to take 4 tires, because even if you do end up a little bit behind the drivers who took 2, you're still going to put yourself in a way better spot than if you took 2 up front and everybody else took 4 in behind.
Here we go. Looks like 4 tires and gas is going to be the call.
I wonder if it's the call for everybody. We'll see the pit times. A lot of them are in that 10-second range. Hoitzma, Delaney, Hutchinson, and Sean O'Brien Jr. It looks like those 4 all with 2 tire stops here, and they are going to lead us back to green once we get going again.
Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports working together right there. It's going to pay off for him. Lucas Hoitzma getting the lead now. I mean, I'm looking right now at the stage results. A lot of them got stage points, and it's going to shake up the way that the standings look. So we're going to definitely do calculations on that. Before we do, though, I think we're about to get the 1 to go signal that time by. So, yep, we're going to get 1 lap to green. Tell me, Dylan, go into the mindset for this stage. What do you think the key to win this one and key to do well here is going to be for these drivers?
You're going to aim to split it in half, right? We're going green until lap 185. So these drivers could make it probably on fuel to the 100 lap mark, 95 lap mark. They're not going to want to do that with their tires. They're going to want to do about a midway point pit stop, right? So 110 laps. Let's just say if we stay green, you're going to see that pit window open around lap 125, lap 130 is the midway point. So right around then, that's what you're aiming for. 50 to 60 lap stints here to make it happen at the Magic Mile in stage 2.
Here we go. Pace car dives down into the pit lane. Restart, we're back underway here from New Hampshire. They are 3 wide back in the field at some spots, Paul Gallimore being one of them right now. This is kind of wild in the back of the field, but up front, still side by side. The 65 of O'Brien Jr. having the best spot he's running in all day. Stuck on the outside right now, can't seem to find a place to run in line.
Yeah, and that's going to be the hard part, right? These double file restarts make it so difficult to try and find the line that you want unless you're in the top 2 rows, really. Things get single file there pretty easily. It's just from 6th on back, it's a barn burner. It's a bit of a gong show, to borrow 2 hockey terms, into the Northeast corridor.
It's all about finding the zone, trying to find the spot where you can just drive without even having to think about it. And right now, the 65, he seems to not be in it right now. He's going the wrong direction. He needs to get in that zone and get in it quick. He's got 2 Alta C Sport entries, one to his inside and one right on his tail. And he's under fire from all directions right now. I wouldn't want to be sitting in his shoes, but I mean, he also doesn't want to lose very many more spots. If you look just behind those Alta C Sport drivers, you see one of the fastest cars we had at the beginning of the run. The 83 of Benefiel dropping back all the way almost outside of top 10. Currently sitting in 9th right now, very close to the cut there, but still I think he's saving a little something for the long run.
Yeah, for sure, and he's still wrapping that apron. A lot on corner entry, a little on corner exit, and gets momentum. 2 drivers in front of him were side by side. He says, this is an invitation for me to pick up 2 positions in just 2 sets of corners. Is he clear? Maybe of 1, but not both.
This is the closest battle to the lead that we have right now, as it looks like we actually, I think, yeah, we just had a pass for the lead. Delaney was able to make it by Lucas Hoytsma. That was for the lead. He got it done. But back here, still that battle right now is between, looks like 7th and 8th and 9th. All right there, all under a blanket. Patrick Gitter making a move down to the inside. Sean O'Brien Jr. not quite able to make it work that time. And they're just trying to survive now. We got a caution out on the racetrack. We're wrecking in turn 2. It looks like it is the 37 of Kevin Zosiak.
Yeah, we'll take a look at what happened as everyone else is sort of catching back up to this situation. It was a huge incident, but maybe a little bit of damage, and that's where you can get your official souvenirs, by the way.
Yeah, so the thing is I believe that there's the replay itself was too far back. I think they don't have all the cars on right now. But what I can state is the 37 was just an innocent bystander, because there was actually another car facing the wrong direction up ahead. It was the 73 of Evan Mesnard that actually went into turn number 1, and he just got loose on the top side of the racetrack. He went into the corner, got loose, wasn't able to hang on to the car, and the other vehicle just got sideways. As we're going to take a quick break, we'll be right back after these short messages for the Full-Length Cup Challenge here in New Hampshire.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You see the cars are now doubled up here on the back straightaway, and it looks like we have fixed the number of cars we can see on the racetrack. So we got them all back here out here for you. Won't miss a single vehicle out here now. I mean, this restart's going to be a big deal. It's the first time that we had a short stint for a longer stage, and now they kind of got to protect their stuff. Here we go. Through the restart zone, back underway, Delaney, huge jump, and he stays on the bottom of the racetrack until the line, and then he changes lanes, so he is safe. Did not break any rules there.
Yeah, all good to start this restart, at least through turns 1. All the field comes through turn 2. And I'll tell you what, they're a lot more congested than we've seen on restarts so far today. A good job from most of the field from staying compact and staying clean as we work towards lap 86 here.
So after doing some calculations, I can now say for sure that Andrew Dyson there in the 41 car is now 41 points to the good after stage 1. So that was putting him in a good spot, but he's still running top 10, currently sitting in 6th. If he does this for the rest of the day, he'll be pretty safe as we continue to see this battle with the 8 car of Ralph Hutchinson on the inside of the 92, trying to make it work on the bottom. Does not look like it will. He will pull in as we got Owens at the bottom of the racetrack getting loose, and they're wrecking behind him as well. More cars going around, it looks like. Wow. The 30 car of Owens sitting sideways. Caution's going to come out.
Caution is out. I believe that was a manually thrown caution there. Nonetheless, they were pretty still for a good while, and I thought it would.
Yeah, so the 30 car, you take a look, he's on the bottom of DeCiani, just got loose. Luckily didn't wash up into him. Saved the car, but guess what? Someone else got loose, and then he gets wrecked. Oh, man, you hate to be in those shoes. You think you made it through, you saved the car, but then all of a sudden, wha-pow, you got hit in the left rear because someone else got loose as well. That's Tanner Marty in the 29. He saw the wreck, got loose, came down, wha-pow, just spun him out. So hate to see it for Tanner. Having not the best of days in that 29 car. Same with William Owens in the 30. He's been running outside the top 20 most of the race, but now gonna split up strategy even more, I think.
I agree. I think it's going to that strategy is going to be split even more. But here's the thing: you can probably go the rest of the way on a full fuel tank. So, oh, look at that. Oh, we've got some. No one's taking it so far. I love that.
So, yep, absolutely what they got to be doing, which is just playing a little bit of pit road games. So it looks like Pearson was the only one that chose to head down. A few others, as well as Bobby Anderson and Neil Pearson were the 2 I see. So, I'd like to see if we can't talk to one of our drivers here, running up here in the top group. I think it would be fun to see if we can't bring in Lucas Hoitzma. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to move him over here to the infield care center. Then we will move him up here to talk to us. Lucas Hoitzma, Kirk up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Hey, man. Hey, I got to ask you. Running in second right there, you got passed by Delaney, but you pulled some strategy to get up to the front. Tell me, what's the plan for you on this, I guess, with all these cautions that we've seen this stage?
Well, I was fully expecting the stage to go green. Stage 1 was pretty clean, aside from the 57. Cam, if you're listening, it's okay. I was just going to save some tire here and just let the teammate go by. He wanted to go a little faster, so I said go on ahead. And now we find ourselves with a few yellows. Everybody's tires are cool, and my tire saving isn't going to really matter. So I don't know what I'm going to do from here on out, but I'm going to try to hold the podium spots at least. It's going to be really good for this round of 12.
Now that we're doubling up here in looks like for the restart, choosing the outside is Delaney, your teammate, choosing the bottom. On this restart, have you noticed that it's difficult to restart on the top or the bottom? Which one would you say is the best one for restarts?
Being on the front row, I'd much rather be on the outside, but being deep in the field inside is a lot better for maintaining your momentum. So I don't know, you can make both work, but I think I like the bottom better.
All right, man. Well, if you get up back to that lead and you make that choice, we're going to definitely be able to pick which one you're going to. Wish you the best of luck, Lucas. Go out there and kick some tail.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Lucas Hoitzma coming to join us, restarting in second on the outside. Here we go. Lined up, double file, Dylan. Cautions have been breeding cautions, man.
They certainly have, and for the couple that did go down pit road, the cautions would be welcomed, I think, by them.
As we're back underway. 6 car having the best jumps all day, it seems like, able to hang on to the lead. Heading into the corner, there's some cars going on the apron, some cars going up to the top, almost 3 wide in some places. All over the racetrack, there's some racing going on. Further back you get, the more chaotic it seems to be. But up front, the only battle I see right now is a side-by-side one for 5th place. Look at Ralph Hutchinson in the 8 car and Andrew Dyson in the 41. Polar opposite situations. The 8 car is currently sitting 12 points behind the cut line right now after stage 1 stage points were divvied out. He needs to have a heck of a stage 2 and a great finish to make this worth it compared to what our current point standings leader, the 41 of Andrew Dyson. He's 41 to the good. He doesn't care. You know, he's just going to relax, try and win the race. He doesn't need to be cautious, but that 8 car is now looking on the top side as he was almost 3 wide with Robert Miller.
That was a really tight fit for all those drivers in that mid-pack right there. Fastest lap of the race set by Jonathan Delaney last time by the way. A really solid job from him. He's been up front, right? Like maybe not in P1, but he's been hovering in those top 2, top 3 spots all day long as we're getting closer and closer to that 1/3 of the way point.
Oh, Patrick Gitter, he's spinning.
In front of the pack.
Yeah, he collected several playoff guys. No caution yet. 3 wide between some playoff guys as well. That was the 65. Caution's going to come out. Big time problems. 21 just got loose. We've seen that happen before.
My, oh my. It almost looked like he got loose. Like this snap oversteer that happens when you shift into another gear, or maybe it was an accidental downshift. Just watch this. No, it was not snap. It was developing.
He was so lucky to not collect any more cars. He made some contact with the 65 of Sean O'Brien Jr. I think that was the worst for wear is the 65. He gets some right front damage. Cameron Stone gets some left side damage. You can look on board here with Stone. Just driving a normal line right behind Nolan Hodgson there in the 65 of Sean O'Brien. Go high. Whoa, there's a wrecked car.
Wow.
Barely avoids calamity there. That would have been horrible for the playoffs if these guys got big hits out of that. Only the 65 seems to have some heavy right front damage. He's probably going to come down and get that fixed because that's more important than stage points right now, is making sure your car is able to compete at a high level.
That was, yeah, looking at all those replays, the fact that only maybe 1 car captured any damage from it was impressive. Now this opens the door up for more drivers to decide, well, I'm going to bring it down pit road. Obviously, you've got damage right there. And as we move towards lap 96, I mean, it's a much easier run to the green-white checkered if we have it green the rest of the way.
Benefield coming down is a little surprising to me. Started on the pole, one of the fastest cars. Patrick Gitter's got some left front damage. I could see that there. It's probably going to take another like minute and a half to get that fixed. The 57 of Cameron Stone might be just a little gas and go. Not that big of a deal. But looking back at O'Brien, he's got a lot of right front damage. I think he's going to need some time to get that fixed. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick step aside while they're getting that damage repaired, and we'll be right back here to Maconi Entertainment's production of the Full Length Cup Challenge. Welcome back to the Full Length Cup Challenge here at New Hampshire International Speedway, or Internet, whatever we call it. New Hampshire, the Magic Mile Speedway. Here we go. That's it. Something like that. Yeah, that was fun. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There we go. That's English. All right. But I can tell you right now, that wreck kind of shook up some of the playoff guys. Some damage still to O'Brien. He is going to be at the tail end of the field as that pace car is going to dive into the pit lane, and everybody's going to get back in that restart zone. We're back underway. Great restart for the 6th of Delaney yet again.
Back underway. Delaney, like you said, a great restart, but I'll definitely say this. Everyone starts to take those multitudes of lines through this track. Some like to go on the apron. We've seen that a lot from somebody like Benefield tonight. Some like to run that third of, I would say, 5 total, not grooves, but lanes, right? You don't want to go to that 4th or 5th lane way up there where the marbles are, but that 3rd line is kind of the high line that you'd like to run.
Oh, the wrecking!
New Hampshire. Oh,
huge wreck
in the back.
Oh yeah, collected multiple guys, and I think the playoff guys made it through. That right there you can see is the 98 of Williams facing the wrong direction. This caution breeds cautions right now. It was the 30 car of William Owens that got loose out of turn number 4 after making contact, and 3 cars got involved in that. Neil Pearson was another one that got hit there. The 65 got some damage as well on the left front a few times, so the 65 did not go through unscathed. Take a look right here at what happened.
Yeah, it almost seems like the 30 tried to throttle up a little bit too early. Well, not too early, but car in front was there, right? You can't do... Let's take another look at a replay from the 62's angle here. I mean, you got to put this on the 30, right? There's
no, actually, I can say right there, the 30 held his line throughout the entirety of that corner. The 5 car, but the 5 car came down, and when that happened, it scared the 30, and he checked up of trying to avoid contact, and when that happened, he overchecked up, and then...
I'd like to see another replay then, because from my angle, it wasn't about.
Let's ride on board. Yeah, let's ride on board with the 30 car. That will help a lot. Here we go. Let's see. So you can see the 30 cars holding his line. 5 comes down. He checks up, trying to avoid the contact. Then he gets run over from behind.
Yeah, but I see that. You still got to be in control of your car. I don't think it's on him. It's more of a race incident than anything, but you still got to make sure that you don't lose control of the car when trying to make a move. But for sure,
there be light.
Yeah, but for sure, the car came down on him, and he just kind of reacted, and you know, that's racing sometimes, right?
Yep, it's racing. That's all it is. But let's focus right now on the storylines that are developing. Something that's interesting. The 65 of O'Brien Jr. had some front end damage because of that, and now his damage is worse. If you look at the nose, if we can get an image of like what it looks like on the front end, you'll see how rough it looks right now, because it is not pretty. We need a close up on the hood. If there's a way we can get that, get a cameraman to zoom in on that or something like that, you'd see it pretty good. He was able to pop the right front back in a little bit better, but still you can see it's crinkled up above the wheel well, and on both sides it looks to be nearly identical damage. So that 65, he's gonna have to come from behind here He's going to have to battle back from adversity to try and stay in this playoff hunt. But remember, this driver is not one that's been necessarily someone up towards the front all the time. If we look at his stats from the season, his average finish is 12th. His average running position is 16th. So with that there, you can tell that he's not somebody who necessarily gets up in the top 15 running all the time. He's somebody who's able to avoid the mess and then take a top 12 out of it based off of that statistic alone. We're doubled up, ready for the restart now. Is he going to be able to come back? We'll have to sit back and relax and watch the rest of the race. And will we get a clean restart? That's another question. Chaos has been stemming ever since the start of stage 2.
Like you said, cautions breed cautions.
That restart zone looks pretty. Let's see him go through it just like that. We're back underway.
They're well side by side, and I'd say this for sure. Hoffman is sliding up the track, almost got in to Hoytsma. Hoytsma has the run and a little bit of a aerodynamic push from Dyson in behind. Everyone's washing up the track.
Seeing 3 wide battles at the back of this field that are sketching me out. Nicholas Vroman being one of the drivers who is going through that playoff driver. Another playoff driver, DeCiani, back in the tail end of this field. 3 wide right now. Very dangerous positions for those folks. You can see at the tail end of your screen right about there. It is a wild battle between these playoff guys. A lot of them here, again, are non-playoff, but this 95 is playoff, and so is the 4 car on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, you know, it's so early in this round that I almost don't love, unless drivers have issues or notably having a poor race, as Hoytsma sets another fastest lap. You can tell this track is getting a little bit faster as the day goes on. I almost don't love checking in with the round of 12 drivers until we're in the final stage or after we see all the stage points calculated. It's just so early, so many variables, so many things can happen. But if you're running in the back quite consistently over the course of a single race, 37's around!
Right off the nose of a playoff driver, the 4 car. 37 was loose. That's Kevin Zosiak. Came down in front of DeCiani and some damage to the right front of DeCiani. That's exactly. When you're in the back like that, it is just wild chaos. So I always get anxious when you see playoff guys running in that mess. And it definitely did not pay off for the 4 car DeCiani. Let's see what happened to the 37. It's got loose.
Got loose.
Yeah. Not something you like to see, though. Zosiak's not having the best of years in that 37 car. Not necessarily somebody who... he's learning a lot. I mean, that's something for sure in the 37 car. Just not able to hang on to the race car that particular corner.
Yeah, that's just, that's how it goes sometimes, right? You just get loose, there's a car underneath, and you can't save it because you've already gone past the point of no return.
We'll be right back to continue watching the Full-Length Cup Challenge here from New Hampshire in just one moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Full Length Cup Challenge here from New Hampshire. Double filed up. Here we go. You got that outside, Jonathan Delaney. 92 on the bottom. This is going to be another restart. We've had several of them, several cautions lining up this stage, making it wild. Here we go. Gonna get that restart. Oh, huge checkup on the bottom of the racetrack. Multiple cars getting rear-ended at the back of the field. They're all over the racetrack. That was a giant mistake up front. Nobody went up front.
Hoffman on that.
Oh, he
turns the 6.
Big one on the backstretch. Look out, everybody. It's that's Cameron Stone. Oh, no. That's
You wanted
so many
chaos,
drivers
right?
in the playoffs. This
We're
is
still
chaos.
under green.
Where's the caution? Galata's taking the access road, the road course. He's on. Look out, Galata. Oh, that angle does not look pretty. Are we still? I don't see. Now the caution's out. Caution's out. Oh my. Yeah, dude. What?
You've had enough chaos here, Kirk.
I've had it. I want more. This is wild stuff. Let's see what happened. Who was? We need to go further back. We need to see what caused this stack up. But then we also have to see what caused this wreck here. Take a look. The 92 gets into the back bumper. The 6 spins him out. Dyson gets through barely unscathed. The 99 heavy damage. The 92 heavy damage. Some other cars as well making contact. That's the 83 as well. But look at this. The 99 of Galata had to take the dang access road course to try and, avoid getting into any more contact. And he kind of had to come back up on the racetrack at a steep angle. But look at this replay. Can we ride on board with the 41 or like a behind? We need to see above it, like maybe a helicopter view if we have one. That would help us see what exactly happened here.
That was just chaos. I think
92. I think 92 spun the tires.
92 spun the tires. The 6 was right on that as well. Here's another look at the replay here. I mean,
that looked like he hit the brake.
Yeah, because the 6 was a control car.
Oh my gosh, that's what happened.
So, I mean, if anything, this is all in the 92 for the chaos right at the start. Tried to jump it and time it. The 6 just didn't go. And then the 92 just wipes out the 6. The 6 makes it away almost scot-free. The 92 gets into the wall. Some chaos in front of the 6 machine. Wow.
I mean, this is something that I always say the Full Length Cup Challenge is like really renowned for. We get really good long runs and then all of a sudden just poof, something happens and everybody flips a switch and it gets wild. And that's exactly what we had happen there. But the leader I was so surprised to see that giant checkup. That gave so much damage to a few cars up at the front of this field. One driver that I was worried about is the 83 of Adam Benefiel and Cameron Stone. They also got some damage in this. They were wrecking up ahead. You can see that's what that smoke is from. Heavy damage to the right front of the 83 and heavy damage to the 57's right rear and left front. So more playoff drivers having problems here at New Hampshire. And you cannot afford to do that. The 51's tire is broke. Absolutely. The front end of the car is bent in for Cameron Stone. Oh, gosh, you just hate to see it.
Really? Because you wanted chaos.
Well, I hate to see it happen like that. That's don't blame me, Dylan. What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying.
You wanted this.
You asked for it.
Yeah, it might be true, but I can tell you this. I hate to see the damage being so severe. I think we're back on the way. Single file restarts from here on out. That is the call from race control. Single file restarts from this point forward.
I mean, hey, cautions breed cautions, and then the final straw caution means we're back to single file, and we've still got lots of laps to go in stage 2.
Look at this top 5. Like, this is nuts. Kolmacheski in the top 5. Where did he come from? Bobby Anderson, where did he come from? There's so many of these guys, I think, made passes before the caution was called because they kept their foot in the gas, and now they're up in the top 5. I mean, this is the highest we've seen Bobby Anderson or Thomas Kolmacheski running all race.
Well, when you avoid the chaos of a restart like that, it certainly helps get you in a better position. Now remember, New Hampshire, it's all about where you are running on track. It's not necessarily, the opposite of that, which for some reason escapes my mental state right now, the words. But if you can get yourself out in front, it's so hard to pass here. If you can get yourself in a second, third, fourth, top 5, anything like that, you're going to be a very difficult person to pass for anyone trying to move up away through the field. It's not like a track like a cookie cutter mile and a half, right, where you can make your way through the field quite easily if you're good at running those mile and a half tracks. Here, oh man, it's so hard to make one move because you're trying to make a move for upwards of 5+ laps sometimes, if not more, once they do go single file. Once that happens, well, you add the laps together, it gets more difficult to make passes. And we've got 3 wide here, speaking about passes. Oh boy!
Oh, this ain't gonna look good. Oh, there goes the Boston Wheeler at outside wall in the 01 car. He's dropped back like a rock. Contact again. He's still off the pace, sitting in the middle of the track. Look out, Dave Hoytsman trying to get around him. Robert Miller trying to get around him. Another playoff driver right there is DeCiani trying to get around. But Boston Miller, heavy right front damage after contact.
This race, stage 1 was relatively calm, right? We only had 2 cautions, one at the very beginning, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, and one at the very 20 lap to go mark. So I don't remember how many cautions we've already had in stage 2, but it's been chaotic.
Never ceasing to entertain the full-length Cup Challenge, to say the least. Right here, battle for position. This is for the 3rd place spot. Bobby Anderson on the top and Vroman on the bottom, trying to make things work. But take a look at who's coming into the picture. It's the 83. Benefield's getting more confident, and he's able to make more passes that way. And he's got the speed, but I don't think he's got the speed to catch up to Dyson or Delaney. Dyson, by the way, able to avoid the calamity and take the lead. That is just phenomenal, and that's adding out to his reasoning for being the top points earner this year. He is undefeated on road courses, and he's won a couple races on the ovals. He's just somebody who's able to do well anywhere he gets put into a race car.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive, right? If you're able to be a very versatile driver over the course of this NASCAR Cup Series season, of course, for the full-length challenge, then it's going to be immeasurably important by the time we start counting these playoff points, by the time we start going throughout the playoffs themselves, right? It's being disciplined on multiple different disciplines. You really can't put a number on how important that is. I can put a number on it. Shane Van Gisbergen, right? He's great at one discipline specifically that no one else is as good as him on, and it got him to 16th in the playoffs, no worse than that. So it's important to be a good multi-discipline guy because 4 wins got him in the round of 16, but that's it. You got to be good at a lot of different track types.
We kind of call Andrew Dyson the Shane Van Gisbergen of this series, but the difference is that he's actually good at ovals. Speaking of Shane Van Gisbergen, that 88 car is just falling off the trail here, losing spots left and right.
I'll give Shane this. He's pretty solid when it comes to flat ovals because that is very similar to road courses, right? Those flat corners, hairpins, and everything like that. The flatter they are, the more used to it he definitely is. I've got some good Shane stories, I'll tell you, in the breaks.
All right, my man. Sounds good to me. What I can tell you right now, though, I'm looking at this battle between the 88 of Komacheski and the 1 car. Dustin Hall has had kind of a topsy-turvy year. He has speed going into these races, but unfortunately just does not seem to be able to carry the finishes to go with it. He's kind of been a top 15 car most days. He can finish top 7 most likely most weeks. It's just that he gets involved in an accident or something happens to where he can't seem to get to the end of these things, and that's what I think really kept him out of the playoffs this year.
Yeah, and it's something we've seen from a lot of drivers nowadays, right? In real world NASCAR Cup Series racing, Carson Hocevar shows a ton of speed, but has incidents that don't allow him to finish the race in a really solid position. Some are absolutely his own fault. Others are just random, mechanical failures of some sort. At the end of the day, doesn't matter, right? He still didn't get the points from finishing where he wanted to finish, and that led to him missing the playoffs. That's, I think, kind of similar to what we're seeing here.
That one car is driving really... Oh, sorry, let's see. Let's take a look here at Devin Medeiros. He's got a front bumper that's completely bent in. Something must have happened to Devin Medeiros.
I'm sure it was the checkup at the very beginning of the prior restart here that led to that radiator being bent backwards a little bit. I always wonder, I don't know how much of an impact that will have. Obviously, there's some counts of downforce that aerodynamically will not be present with that car anymore. But at a track like New Hampshire, caution's out. On the back, on the front stretch, outside of turn 4, I saw a car turn.
It's the driver of the 62, Neil Pearson. Sitting the wrong direction on the racetrack. Something must have happened to the 62, and yet another caution happens here. It looks like the 62 just got loose on his own. Crossing the seam.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Loose mid-corner. Oh, big hit. Couldn't quite tell who hit him.
That was the 19 car of Alex Princeton and Clayton Hoffman, playoff driver, also involved in this one.
Hoffman has had a really rough last 25 laps or so. Remember, he was starting on the front row or restarting on the front row. And, of course, I believe that was him who had some issues earlier that had to send him towards the back. Yes, it was for Clayton Hoffman. And then, wow. Okay. Honestly, very minimal.
Yep, he got away with that one, but Princeton most certainly didn't. He got a little bit of front damage after some contact there. Riding on board with him, you just see the car wrecking, and this contact got really lucky. He didn't get wedged into the pit wall there at all. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back to continue the full-length Cup Challenge here on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Back underway here from New Hampshire. 12-car Nolan Hodgson, after pit road, was able to cycle his way up to the front, as it looks like multiple cars including the 41, has a long way to go to catch back up to the front of the field, as we got a lot of new names up front. Alex Murray, Paul Hill. You got Miller back up towards the front. We haven't seen him up here in a while. More 3 and 4 wide racing back in the mid-pack right now. Wild contact right now. The 09 of Dave Hoytsma stuck in the middle. Contact, look out.
Attrition. Remember, we've all talked about it tonight. We've got 3 wide in the midfield going into turn 1. Some drivers, of course, it's Benefield running that inside line all the way on the apron, but the entire way around 1 and 2, trying to wrap that bottom around as best he can. He has been quick tonight, making that line work. Not many have. I mean, we saw it happen on Maconi Entertainment races earlier in the week, actually. I think Racers Elite had 2 drivers pull that move off in the Truck Series race there on Tuesday night, and we saw it actually work for the win of this race. And, of course, now we see that 97 machine of Hoytsma rubbing shoulders with a few drivers involved right here. It's oh, you love that scheme, don't you?
Hate it.
Nah, you love it.
It's such an eyesore. I mean, it's such a tool to have. It's definitely helpful. It's just, man, that thing's hard to look at. I've had to look at it all year because it's always up in the front too. It's definitely fast, but it looks like we got some 3 wide racing in the back here. I'm a little concerned about. It looks like one guy going the wrong direction. Got to mention here, the 83 of Benefield. He started a little further back in the pack, but he's still running outside the top 20 right now, trying to crack the top 20 right now as we speak. I mean, whenever he had the pit cycle, he stayed on pit road a little longer, probably took 4 tires instead of 2, and everybody else either took no tires or 2 tires. So looking at that, it's kind of weird how weird the top 15 looks to what it did 50 laps ago. It's like night and day.
Yeah, it is a little bit like night and day as the 09 machine tries to insert itself in a position that it was not meant to be. Drivers kind of swarming that machine. We're seeing kind of the aftermath here. That, I'll tell you what, that 09 looks like the advanced auto parts machine that is on the 12 of Ryan Blaney in real world action.
I think that's what they were going for. Definitely looks identical.
It's solid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another crash right there. It is the 73 of Evan Mesnard sitting the wrong way. Caution's coming out again.
I don't think the single file restarts helped.
Well, it wasn't necessarily that. After you get 10 laps clean, they'll normally go back to double file. Single file until you get 10 clean ones, then you go back to double. That's kind of the rule here. Man, let's see what happened to the 73 to get turned around the wrong way. Benefield, playoff driver, spun him out.
Oh boy. Let's catch another replay there.
Yeah, if we could on board with the 83 just to confirm. That'll show us all we need to really know.
Big dive down to the apron.
He's on the apron.
Takes a 3 wide, maybe. Yeah, just flat out takes him out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you could attribute that to he doesn't run in the back 20s very often. So people don't drive the same way in the back 20s that they do up in the front top 10 where the 83 is used to running. So I think that was just something that where he may not have been familiar with running around the way how the back works. So that could just be a racing etiquette difference that he that happened there. I'm going to attribute it to that. The etiquette that you have at the front versus the back is different. But more cars choosing to come down pit road, some choosing to stay out. See the 99 at Galata. I see the 92 of Hoffman coming down. Galata's having a horrible day. 10 laps down now. I think he's pretty much done for the day. 99. Princeton as well, 10 laps down. That's the tail of the field. Llewellyn 7 laps down, Boston Wheeler is 3 laps down, and Dustin Hall is only 1 lap down. Everybody else would be back on the lead lap this time.
I mean, this race, right, has been, it really found a second gear of chaos as the second stage got going. And I really thought that we were in for a little bit more, a little bit cleaner of a night. Kirk, what did you just say? You want more chaos? Is that
no?
Is that what you just wrote?
Absolutely not. Not what I'm saying. I like seeing hard racing. That's what I want to see.
I mean, sometimes hard racing can go over the line, you know. Nonetheless, it's been some good racing too, right? It's not just been chaos. We've had some really good battles. I just wish we got the longevity to continue.
Well, now, I mean, Nolan Hodgson, we know he's got a lot of fans in that 12 car. He's leading this thing right now. That's probably the best feeling he's had in a while, leading the race. Paul Hill, also a teammate of his. They kind of work together week in, week out, Paul Hill and Nolan Hodgson. Right now sitting 1-2. But behind them, they got the 2 fast cars, Delaney and Dyson. Got to be careful on this restart, considering that this is the first time that their next biggest competitors are right on their tail. Double file restart. We're back underway. Oh, bad restart for Roman. Did not get going.
Yeah, not at all. And now 3 wide for second, and the 12 of Hodgson is just right in front. The 6 trying to wrap around the outside. Now we're 2 wide for second.
Dyson tried to take advantage of that slow restart, but just like that 6-car Delaney dove bomb, and the 41's using the 12 up. Just like that, 12 lost the lead and drops back to 3rd. As more contact happened in the back of the field, no one going around, they keep it straight. But the 21 of Patrick Gitter is driving so aggressive right now.
Man, this is just chaos all throughout this field. It's what you wanted. The 12 is definitely a little bit slower than the rest of the top cars in traffic.
Man, Benefiel is just stuck in the back, and he can't seem to do anything but up front for the lead. Dyson on the bottom, watching the 6 up the racetrack. Not enough room. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is hard racing up at the front. This is what I like seeing. Dyson able to take the lead, but the 6, will he dive it back in on the bottom? Both cars dive it in pretty deep. That time by, the 41 might hang on to it. It looks like he will. New leader, 41 of Andrew Dyson.
Dyson's been leading ever since that big mess happened on the restart a number of laps ago. Doing a solid job of holding that lead. Everybody else, though, that we've seen, right? Dyson, Delaney, besides those 2, they're still trying to work their way up through the field. Benefiel, of course, the reason for the last caution, he's trying to move up into 12th right now, kind of slotted back into 13th.
Side by side still, Bobby Anderson, by the way, sitting in 12th place, battling with the 83 for 11th. I mean, having a great day for the 5-car. Avoiding the trouble is what he just needs to remember to do all day. And it looks like he's doing that. And owner of the league, by the way, Bobby Anderson, having a heck of a time. What a heck of a series he's really developed here with the full-length Cup Challenge. Bringing it back, the 100% Cup Series from the dead. And gotta say now, I mean, it's one of the most entertaining series that I get the pleasure of watching week in and week out. The storyline's just so deep, so many different rivalries, different racing series, different drivers. I mean, it's really cool to see the same guys week in, week out trying to battle for this championship. And Dyson and Delaney definitely the front runners, sitting 1 and 2 with Roman right on the tail. Most certainly would be the drivers I'd see as possible championship 4 candidates there.
Yeah, and, you know, some of these drivers here are really making use of all of the lanes available to them, for them at Loudon. I feel like some of the best drivers try different things, right? It's whether it's just outright domination or not, when they're facing adversity, as we've seen some of the faster drivers in this field tonight have to deal with, it really does make a difference over the course of a playoff stretch when they're able to kind of have that champion's drive, right? It's sometimes a champion's drive is just recovering from a mid-race wreck in 35th. You know, you're starting the final stage and you finish in 12th. It's something like that where you escape problems, as now we go 3 wide almost. Now it's just 2 wide here going into turn 1. But it's that's what I consider a champion's drive. And I think we have the potential to see some of that tonight.
Whether or not that happens isn't dependent entirely on the driver themselves. Unlike when Chase Elliott won his championship, it was all thanks to a jackman running back to the wall. So, and the sim, we don't have to worry about that particular issue. No championship moment that way. But right now, the 97 is interested in getting by that 12 car, and he's more than interested. He's doing it right now into turn 3. He's going to try and dive it in there and make the pass.
Yeah, and you can tell some of these drivers who are faster in the mid pack right now are, you know, still trying to fight up to get to where Hoytsma is, to get to where Hodgson is in the field, but it's so hard to make passes happen here, right? Benefield just got into P10, and he's the kind of driver that I'm thinking about when I think of, you know, a potential champion's drive, right? Kind of recovering from mistakes in the middle of this race to now put himself in a position where he's now in the top 10, now in P9. He's trying to catch up to where Hoytsma is and get to that clean air. This is one of the better periods we've got of stage 2.
I mean, if we had to call this stage 2 a movie, I guess it's like Hunger Games in a way. It's kind of calm in the beginning, sure, a couple incidents, but then the games start and it's wild and chaotic, and then we're getting to the point now where like people are, you know, camping, trying to, where the herd's thinning. So now it's what we got going on right now. Side-by-side battle for position, the 12 car and the 4 car, DeCiani and Hodgson. This is the battle right now for the 6th place spot. This is between 2 playoff guys.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a 2-point swing, right? It's not just 1 point gained. It's 1 point gained and 1 point lost, right, for each of these drivers involved in playoff battling here. That's something I always love, you know, that idea of the 2-point swing, the things like that. Yeah, so.
It's the smart way to pass folk. You just hope that they're also in the playoffs, so that way you get double whammy there. But what I've noticed, if you take a look, can we get a static shot of like the leaders going down the back straightaway for a second? Because I think that'd be really interesting to talk about. When they come off the corner, you'll see the giant gaps. You got this large gap from the leader here, and they're kind of all spread out for the top 5, but then right around when you get the 7th, that battle with Benefield now trying to make a pass on Hodgson, then you got the rest of the pack. It's really starting to spread out over the long run, and that's what we're seeing here. Remember, stage 2, that thing ends very shortly here on lap 185, so we're getting down to the final 20 laps here, 30 laps here before we see that end of the stage, and then we head in for the final part of the race, which is going to be where the money's earned. So it's going to be exciting to see how that handles, as it looks like Benefield made it by the 12 of Hodgson, who is actually falling back right now. Remember, he started up at the front, and since the restart, him and Paul Hill both have been falling back rather quickly.
Yeah, this is some good battling right here. Good battling. The 12 is still trying to hold on, right? Like, started back up P1, obviously is trying to hold on to this strategy and get some points before the stage ends, but you still have a long way to go, right? There's still a lot more that can happen between now and when that green-white checker does fly in 27, 26 laps time.
Still a long way to go indeed. Getting down to the end of this stage now. The real close positioning that we're seeing for battling is happening right here on your screen. Kulmacheski and Hodgson, these are 9th and 10th places right here. The 12 car really needs to hang on to some stage points there. We know that for a fact. He's a driver that's currently, when he came into this race, he was only 2 points to the good at the end of the stage 1. He did not finish in the top 10, so he didn't gain anything or lose anything. He's right on the cut line. He just needs to have some stage points to help him out. But he's on the cusp of getting out of those points right now.
Yeah, he's really struggling at this moment. He's done a really admirable job of staying at least hovering around this 10th place spot. But he's now fallen from 11th to 12th, and there's still potential for him to lose some more. At this point, it's just about trying to hold on to the best position possible for when that second stage does come to a close to get yourself the best time in the pits, maybe gain a few spots there, and get ready for the longest stage of the night.
I think that 12 car's tires are screaming and they're done. So they are just dropping back like a rock grind now. Up front, still, I mean, not that much distance between the drivers who are running in line. The only closest battle I think that we have up front was Benefield, who just made his way by DeCiani. That was for position. He just jumped up to 6th place spot. But other than that, only the top 3 are really close to each other. The 41, the 6, and the 95 are starting to zoom in on each other here. I think they're kind of catching up to the back bumpers. 95 faster than the 6, 6 faster than the 41 right now.
You know, I feel like we're really starting to see a lot of calm kind of build over this track, build over these competitors. They've got a lot of extra tire sets now waiting for them. Should be 8 sets of tires for this race here. 3 pit stops for the vast majority of the field, some 4, some 5 stops. Dyson's fall off is around 9/10, actually almost a second over the course of 34 laps, not all of them under green with this set of tires. So I really want to see that third stage go green for a lengthy amount of time, just because I'm so curious to see how big the fall off would be by the time that these drivers decided that they would pit and kind of make their bet on their strategy.
You can definitely see that pink car able to make up some ground. I think he's going to be able to make a shot here. If we can't ride on board with him, how about we do a little bit of crank it up here with this driver here? I'd like to ride on board with Roman as we try and listen to the sounds of him trying to make a pass here on a 6 car. They're getting closer and closer every second right now, and they just got really loose for the lead. Boston Wheeler was being difficult to pass that particular time. 41 got loose, able to hang on to it, but that brought the 6 car back up to the back bumper of the leader.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Delaney's been faster as this run has gone. Maybe just a few hundredths per lap, but he has started to kind of claw back in Andrew Dyson's run, his advantage over the last 10 or so laps. Only 17 to go and change at this moment. I could see a change of not just first and second, but maybe first, second, and third for that 95 to maybe maybe Wally Pipp the top 2.
Perhaps. I think that wouldn't be out of the area of possibility there. Looking at this race right here, I'm kind of surprised to see how the lap times are looking. Dyson is just that much faster. It seems like that last time by ran about a 10th faster, a little over a 10th. Let's see what they run this time when they cross the stripe. It looks like it is nearly identical for the top 3 in terms of lap time. They are just so dang close to each other, all running 29.7s, just within hundredths of each other.
I'll tell you what, though, that gap in the last lap increased by a couple tenths. It's allowed Vroman to get even closer. Look at how hard he dove into turn 3 there on the apron. Lost some time, I'd say, but maybe not net. I think he actually gained on the 6 of Delaney, who lost even 2 more tenths to Dyson.
I think that 95 is ready to try and make a pass here. He might be a little better on the long run than that 6 car. Nobody else behind him is actually running similar lap times unless you go back to 7th place DeCiani, who is running similar lap times to these guys, but they're far enough back to where it won't necessarily get there. 41 gets into the wall on the exit there that time by, and lap time wise, he still was about a half a tenth faster than the 2nd and 3rd place cars. So it's really a battle for 2nd unless Andrew Dyson makes a mistake.
Yeah, we're, it's interesting seeing these top 3 just get completely away from the rest of the field. We haven't really talked about Patrick Gitter that much besides the very start of the race, but I'll tell you what, he's done a commendable job of inserting himself back up into the top 5, currently running in 4th place. I mean, I don't think he's got a chance to do anything in this stage, but he's there. He's there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's got a ways to go to catch back up to him. Looks like we had a driver go off course there. Zosiak in the 37, no caution for that. But definitely went off track in the 37 car just a moment ago. Got loose off turn 2, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely got loose off of 2. I think more drivers are starting to just struggle because they haven't gone on this long of a run. And I mean, let's be real, an hour and 15, an hour 20 since that initial green flag run in the first stage happened. We're well into this race now. We're much past the halfway point, and there's just been so much start and stop that you kind of lose your rhythm, right? You kind of lose that zone that you're in when green flag racing happens. So maybe a loss of concentration happens here or there, and all of a sudden it's not just 100th, it's 1/10th, it's half a second, you know?
Absolutely. Now, before we get down to the end of this stage, we just started lap 175, and we will be calling the stage when they get to the end of lap number 185. So about 10 laps to go before the end of the stage here. Our Australian Andrew Dyson leading this race right now in P1. Showing up all the Americans this week. Well, just like that, as we got a battle on the screen right now. DeCiani on the outside. You got the 12 car of Hoffman on the bottom. This is for stage points. And with those stage points, they are both in the playoffs. It would significantly help the 92 out. But the 4 car is the one that really needs it the most because Hoffman's 14 points to the good after stage 1.
Yeah, and those, obviously, the points from the stages, one thing I always laugh about with playoff systems and chase systems throughout most of, iRacing world is that when they don't have stages and they have 20 car count fields, it gets really difficult to make up any disadvantage or create an advantage for yourself over the course of a postseason run. Having stages really changes the game because all of a sudden there's way more points on the offerings to gain or to lose.
Made the pass simple, that's for sure. And these stages make life easier for the drivers, for better or for worse, as some folks would say. Looking at this final little run to the finish, though, we're going to have about 5 laps to go. Dyson seems to be in a very comfortable spot. Roman has fallen off a cliff, not able to keep up with Delaney. They were nose to tail for a while, but they are starting to separate. I think this long run is starting to affect them, running lap times of 129.8 when their fastest lap during warm-up was like 128.7, so over a second of fall off right now. 2 seconds of fall off, I should say.
That's absurd. I mean, over a 50-lap stint. So this is what we're going to see if we have a green flag final stage, right? It's that we're probably going to go 110 laps of green flag running. 55 laps is the midway point of that, if that is what it comes down to, which is the exact point in where we'll get that green white checkered here. This is a good example of what the fall off should be.
I mean, it's rare to be able to see a track like that where the fall off actually matters as much. It's a big deal, so it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for the drivers to choose when they want to come down. We are down to now 5 laps to go on the stage. Again, your top 10. Right now, Paul Hill is pretty securely in 10th place, over about a half a second over the next driver up. Bobby Anderson's next, followed by DeCiani. These guys are all separated by over a half a second. Then you go to Benefiel, who's a couple seconds further ahead. About 3/10 ahead of them is Lucas Hoytsma, who's trying to chase down Patrick Gitter, but he's pretty far up ahead of him as well. And then you got Roman sitting in 3rd, who's far back behind Delaney, who's far back behind Dyson. So I don't think this top 10 will change, caution or no caution. If a caution were to come out, that would be the stage. So this top 10 seems to be pretty set in stone unless one of them makes a mistake. That 41 just being dominant right here in this stage, showing he has speed, is able to be quick. He won at Nashville due to some fuel saving mode, but this time he's doing it on raw pace. That 41's really quick.
Yeah, extremely quick right now. And you know, Dyson, I obviously made the really low-hanging fruit joke earlier of, you know, him dicing through the field, but once he got to P1, he hasn't really seen it relinquished, right? And it's just because he's been managing his tires well. He's been quick on his own merit, as he's currently making the 71 think twice about fighting him for this lap. And 71's had a rough race, has with some of the damage we've seen that Sonic machine have.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mesnar definitely not having the best of days, but we are on the final lap of the stage. 41 car down the back straightaway for the final time in stage number 2. Delaney far enough back, no interference there. The entire top 10 is separated by at least half a second all the way back to outside the top 10, but out of turn number 4, you got Andrew Dyson crossing the stripe to win stage 2 here in New Hampshire for the full-length Cup Challenge.
That was just a really solid second half of the second stage, I'd say, for Andrew Dyson. Pick up those 10 points. We'll see what he can do once the actual checkered flag is put out. Caution comes out on the track. Top 10 is known.
It is Paul Hill, Bobby Anderson, Matt DeCiani, Clayton Hoffman, Adam Benefiel, Lucas Hoytsma, Patrick Gitter, Nicholas Roman, Jonathan Delaney, and Andrew Dyson rounding out your top 10 finishers in stage 2. We're going to take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll start the 3rd stage here from New Hampshire.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Jay. Welcome back to the Full Length Cup Challenge here. New Hampshire. Double filed, ready to start stage 3, Dylan. I'm excited. Let's see how they're able to handle it. We're back underway. Great jump from the 6th car yet again up front. Delaney with the lead.
What it looks like when the control car controls it well. That's exactly what we saw right there from Delaney. Right after that stage end, obviously all the drivers went down pit road, and it really did shuffle the field up. Dyson is in that 6th place position right now, has to fight to get back to where he was.
Outside lane is an unfamiliar place for the 83 of Benefield, but guess what? He's up there now, able to make a pass on Lucas Hoitzma, trying to make it work on the top line for the first time today. Looks like he is going to be able to do that and try to go down and do some aero blocking now. As it's really been a nice, settled restart here. Very patient is what I'm seeing out of the drivers.
Yeah, quite patient. You know, you kind of had that period of just start and stop, and people were getting antsy, but we did just come off of a 55-lap run. It was a big hit to the outside wall there in the midfield. We came off a long 55-lap run. Drivers were able to kind of calm down, get themselves into a rhythm. Get the anxiousness out of their system. Obviously, this restart changes things a little bit, but now the end is in sight, right? The next flag might be the one that ends the race, or at least says 1 lap to go, as we get closer to 109 to go here.
Now, we know that these drivers can go 90 laps on a full fuel tank. If we stay green, they will have to pit one more time. We get some cautions, you might have some people try to stretch it, but I think tires are going to be more important than fuel this particular race, so that's something to keep in mind. But the top 5 and 6 have really settled out. The leader is starting to pull away, but everybody from 2nd all the way back to, it looks like 8th, has really kind of zoomed in on each other to this single line here.
Yeah, and this single file line, hopefully it's going to be something that we start to see drivers pluck away at over the course of a hopefully green flag run to get to that midway point. I'm still really hoping to see that strategy start to play forward with like 60 to go, 50 to go here, where we start to see in that range drivers decide to come down pit road with an overcut, an undercut, because it is big enough where the undercut will have a big effect early on, but obviously it'll die off. If you have a 5-lap undercut, you're going to be way ahead. You're going to be almost, let's say, 8 seconds ahead. of the cars around you who decide to go in right at midway. An overcut makes it a different story.
With the way the stages have landed so far, it looks like that Matt DiCiani might just be 1 point below the cut line. So 1 point really is going to make the difference after the stages. We'll find out where they're running. At the end of the race, we'll be given a graphic to confirm. But unofficially, I'm looking at this and it might just be 1 point separating the cut line between him and Nolan Hodgson, who also is currently just on the cusp of that cut line, but on the positive side for the time being. It's hectic because it starts to make you drive a little more cautiously whenever you're on that cut line, because you know that one wreck can turn into a must-win at any given time. So it's important to, keep the nerves under you. How do you do that as a driver, Dylan?
I mean, you got to put it out of your mind, right? You've got to, you just got to drive as if the rest of the race is going to go green, and you race your race. Now, racecraft is obviously important at a track that is difficult to pass on. Being able to make the most out of opportunities and be decisive in making those moves are going to be the difference between, just kind of floundering in the back and finishing just outside the top 10 or just within the top 10, which is great. But, those additional 8 points by maybe finishing third or second, it means so much. And you only get that, oh wow, so we see some smoke there from the last lap. You only get that way if you're decisive in the moves that you can potentially make, in the moves that are kind of showing themselves available. As you see that car that went off. Couldn't quite tell who that was, but that car is down pit road right now.
It looks like that the driver that came down pit road was the 0-1 of Matthew Boston Wheeler, involved in yet another accident there. Probably going to take him out of the race that particular time. No caution for the accident, but now the leader is catching up to a lap traffic that may have had something to do with it. 73 of Evan Mesnard is now at the front of the field, but he's soon to be lapped by our leader, Jonathan Delaney, any second now.
Still a lot of cars on the lead lap of this race. I was saying the 71 earlier. I meant the 73 with Evan Mesnard. He's the last car, or was the last car, on the lead lap. The only car, one lap down. So if a caution does come out, you get the free pass and would make it 27 cars on that lead lap. But what we're seeing right here is a really, really tight battle between two drivers that we've seen so much of in this race so far. Of course, in Benefiel and Patrick Gitter. They're almost magnetic against each other, and bring in Andrew Dyson to the picture too.
I would love to take a look here at our playoff drivers, and I'd like to go through the field to talk about each one of the 12 and how they're doing and how they're running. And I think that's something that we're going to start doing here in just a moment. But in the meantime, I do want to go ahead and mention, looking at the tail end of the field, the lowest running playoff driver that I see out there right now is still Sean O'Brien Jr. Everybody else is at least 16th or better out there on the racetrack right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get set to do that here in just a moment. But in the meantime, can you tell me, as we got 98 laps to go, are you saving tires, saving fuel right now, or is this a time when you're pushing?
It's completely dependent on what you think strategy-wise. Like, there's no right answer to it. If you feel like you're going to be better with a very quick start to this stage, but tapering off as it goes on, and maybe doing an undercut, maybe that's the way to do it. There's literally no right way. It's just about where you are positionally. Maybe you're back in 10th, and you're going to take a little bit of a gamble and go with a 2-lap undercut, gain a few seconds there. Maybe you are in 20th and you're going to go with a long overcut, trying to go the rest of the fuel run to get a caution that would put you in a better spot. Literally, it's all positionally dependent.
Well, speaking of Sean O'Brien Jr. that we were talking about just a second ago, let's start with him for this rundown. Currently running in the 16th place spot, just lost another spot actually back to 17th, battling side by side right now with Bobby Anderson in the 5. O'Brien started 21st tonight. He fought uphill all night. He got up to a top 5 running position and then got involved in an accident. That 65 got some damage. It's been a season of flashes. He's had 11 top 10s this year, an average finish of 12th. But he just hasn't had front-running pace with only 2 laps led all year. His consistency is good, but the result leaves him still buried in the playoff standings, and he is having a night that definitely needs some more improvement if he's going to come out of here with the best playoff run. After him, up next, Ralph Hutchinson, 8 car. Right now, currently sitting in the 15th place spot. Hutchinson rolled off 13th today, and he's currently sitting with 15th. Which fits his season pattern. He has 11 top 10s and 195 laps led, so he can get it done. That shows he can do it. But that 16.9 average finish and an 80.8 driver rating reveal the inconsistency. If he doesn't clean up the rough spots, it's going to be hard for him to climb out of this playoff hole, to say the least. Next driver to talk about, Cameron Stone, sitting in 12th right now. Stone started 11th, stayed in that mid-pack zone, and currently sitting in 12th. He's been sneaky and consistent. He's like a sneaky, consistent driver all year long. He has 15 top 10s. Solid 11.6 average finish. No wins yet. He's led just 74 laps all year. And to move on, he'll need more stage points in the following races, and he's going to need to have a great finishing position, better than what he's running right now, if he wants to advance into the next round. Next driver we're going to talk about, Paul Hill, currently running in the 11th place spot, just in front of him. Paul Hill rolled off in 12th place. He finished. He's right now running in 11th, so he's only gained 1 spot. That kind of sums up his season already. He's steady but not spectacular. He's won 3 times this year, 14 top 10s, 170 laps led. He's proven that he can capitalize when others stumble. But his 14.9 average finish means he spends a lot of races grinding for points instead of fighting for wins. And right now, even though he's won a few races, those are kind of races he's kind of lucked into on a couple of occasions. But he definitely has speed. He can definitely win this championship, but he's got to be able to move up through this field, because sitting 11th will not cut it for long, especially with the talent that we have in this top 12. Moving on to the next driver, currently sitting in 10th right in front of the 26, you got Nolan Hodson. Nolan, he puts on the VR headset, and he's a happy guy. Something cool about that 12 car. Started 17th, he's sitting in 10th, right there, having a great day. He's kind of having a solid night. He's got 2 wins this season, along with 13 top 10s, but his 14.9 average finish and just 56 laps led show the lack of dominance. This guy does not seem to have dominance in his blood at all right now. But nights like this, quiet, clean, and mistake-free, this is what's going to keep him on the right side of the cut line. Barely, if he's able to continue. That's the important thing. Now let's move on up to 8th. Got DeCiani here in the 4 car. I mean, what a run. Now up to 9th, I should say. He just got passed a few moments ago. DeCiani rolled off 16th, already up to 9th. And I can tell you right now, that's the strength of his year. He climbs forward, always finishing better than he starts, with a 10.1 average finish, meaning 10th place on average. He's where he finishes. I mean, climbing forward and finishing better than where he starts is what he's doing. He has 9 top 5s, so not necessarily that much top 5s compared to the other drivers, but he has 17 top 10s. This guy is wildly in the top 10 all the time. He's steady as they come. Even without a win, this kind of race is what's going to keep him in the playoff conversation if he's able to continue and stay ahead of these drivers. Up in front of him, we're going to talk about Lucas Hoytsma in the 97. Hoytsma, he started in 8th. He held steady here, and right now running in 7th. He's been sharp all season. 2 wins, 18 top 10s, 575 laps led, and a strong 96.1 driver rating. His strength in qualifying as well. He's so good at getting good qualifying efforts. And staying in clean air is what he's really good at. Once he gets that clean air, he can stay up front, he can win races. but right now he's kind of stuck back in 7th. He needs to get some clean air on that nose and try and push forward even more. I think that's going to help him out a lot. Next, Clayton Hoffman, currently sitting in the 5th place spot, just past Patrick Gitter, that 92 car. He's rolled off 3rd today, dropped back to 6th. He's showing front running pace. And this year has been defined by speed out front. He's led 707 laps, most of anyone other than Delaney, but he's only won 1 time. And he averaged is a finish of 14.7. Converting that pace has been the challenge. So he has the speed, he can win. It's just that getting to the end of these races, something always happens to take him out. But at the very start of the playoffs at Darlington was where he was able to get the job done. And that 92 is just very lucky to be in the position he's in. He can win this championship. He just needs to finish these races out, and I think he's going to be a strong contender. Ahead of him, Andrew Dyson, 41 car. Huge playoff night for him. He won a stage. He's sitting out here, starting way back in 18th. He drove up, and he's still right now running in the 4th place spot. That fits the story of his season. 5 wins, 19 top 10s, and an average finish of 9.7. All with a driver rating of 96.2. Even when he doesn't start up front, he almost always finds his way there. Dyson just knows how to manage these long run races, and that's something that's really exciting to watch with the 41 car. He seems calm and patient in the beginning, but then once he knows this track and he's confident in his car, he pounces and he's able to make it work. Next driver I'd like to talk about, Adam Benefield, currently sitting in 3rd place, having a great night tonight, trying to make a move here on Vroman just ahead of him. Something about him, he started on the pole today. He's still sitting in the top 3, staying in the top 5 most of the night. He dropped back outside the top 20 only once tonight. And his year has been built on good qualifying and steady top 10s. 2 wins this year, 14 top 10s, and 125 laps led. At 88.6 driver rating, he's not the most dominant, but he keeps himself in the mix when track position matters most. And that's something I like about him, as we got this battle for the lead now between 2 playoff guys. Nicholas Vroman. We're looking at Jonathan Delaney. These 2 guys have been the class act of the field. Now we got 3-4 cars, the best cars all year, I'd argue. Some would argue that as well, that this is the battle between 4 of the best drivers in the full-length Cup Challenge. Got the 95 of Vroman, diving it in deep, trying to get by the 6 car Delaney. He's going to have to try and use the chrome horn. He's trying to race him clean, but look out, very tight on the exit. They're just nose to tail. Vroman started 7th today, sitting in 2nd, under fire from all directions, and he's just trying to hang on right now. If he's able to do so, he'll make it to the next round, no problem. And Delaney has just been a lap leader king right here. He's out here leading 991 laps, the most of anyone all year, and that's exactly what he's doing right now, leading this race.
This top 5 comprises 48% of the wins so far this season. 14 wins in this top 5. Down the inside, Vroman takes another peek, slides up the track, as does the 6, accelerates, hits the throttle mid-corner, and he's going to just peek ahead down the backstretch into the wall. Delaney goes.
Man, that's right. There you go. Take a look. The 95 of Vroom, making his way to the lead just like that. But remember, the 83's quick too. I think that 83's got a lot of long run speed. All these guys are trying to get that free ticket to the round of 8. Is he going to be able to do it? Who is going to be able to submit their place in the full-length Cup Challenge history as someone who's able to lock themselves in and start focusing on the last round of the playoffs? It's what it's all about, is winning this race, and this is phenomenal racing up front. You got Vroman, Benefield, Dyson, Delaney, almost 3 wide for 2nd right there, as Hoffman's trying to join the show as well in 5th.
Yeah, this is some awesome racing, and hopefully it stays green until we get to pit stop time. But this isn't a perfect example of what I was talking about. Delaney out in front for the majority of this stage so far, obviously burned up the equipment a little bit staying out there and not really controlling the race in the way that he now would have liked to, as Dyson slides up, almost gets his right rear quarter panel right up into the left front. of Delaney. 6 machine, 41 of Dyson should clear the 6 pretty easily and slides up into his position, his line. Boy, he made that move a little bit more aggressively than he probably needed to, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's that decisiveness in getting moves done that separates you from, you know, multiple positions up ahead. The 6 is pressuring again.
Hey, this is exactly what you like to see as a race fan. This is exactly what you come to the racetracks to watch. And with the entirety of the top 5 closer than they've been all race long, the only thing I can say is Delaney's falling back. Delaney in the 6 car does not seem to have a long run speed right now. He's fallen all the way back now to outside the top 4, now back to 5th, battling with Hoffman for position.
Man, this is some great racing. The fact that we had all the top 5 literally under California king size blanket was pretty electric. And obviously they are still within just a second and a half of each other. But look at that. Gitter is coming up into the conversation again as Hoffman goes down the inside of Delaney. Yeah, Delaney is struggling right now. I feel like he would be a prime candidate at this moment to try and go for a little bit of an early undercut. He fends off Hoffman right there, going into the front stretch once again, but it's just a matter of time, I feel.
Only a matter of time is right. The cut line is so dang short. Like, anything can take you out. You just got to finish this race. All the playoff guys that are battling for this championship are from 15th on forward. There are no playoff drivers behind 15th. So if you get involved in an accident or something happens to your day now, you lose big time. You got to stay careful and stay respectful because you do not want to get involved in any accidents or any contact or any problems knowing where these guys are in points. I think that it's going to be so close at the end of this thing that some guys are just going to be right on top of each other in terms of where the points will stack up to start the second race of the round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, that's also the thing, right? Once you factor in all the playoff points and everything, you kind of have this mental reset too. Once you are into the round of 12 after going through maybe the slalom that is the round of 16, maybe you just barely pointed your way in there. Well, it's excitement, right? You get excited about the fact that you are into the round of 12, but all of a sudden you're back in that hole again if you were already struggling towards the cut line, and you got to keep going. So one thing that with this points system, with the playoff system, it kind of it does have a little bit of that. The regular season still matters for your performance in the playoffs. Some would argue. I would argue that it doesn't do a good enough job.
Agreed.
I don't love the playoffs as a whole anyway. But at the end of the day, that regular season performance, that in-round performance especially too, does matter so much, especially once we get to, say, the round of 8.
I mean, this is what you practice on. Cameron Stone. Holy cow. Hang on to the race car, buddy. That was really loose for the 57 car. Luckily, nobody was behind him. That would have been he would have gotten passed left and right for that. But right now, Cameron Stone running in 12th outside the top 10. I mean, he's the fourth highest playoff driver right now. He's solid. But, man, he really needs to put that hot rod up front and snag some stage. He needs to get some good finishes here if he wants to claw above that cut line, because right now he's not going to gain much on the cut line if he keeps running where he is. Look at that 12 car Nolan Hodgson, though, man. He's moving forward. That car's trying to make a move on DeCiani on the outside.
Well, yeah, we've talked about Hodgson, right? He was trying to hold off some of the competitors at the end of stage 2 because he was restarting from up front. Then he kept falling to second to third all the way to, last time we really checked in with him, he was running in 12th. I forget exactly where he finished in stage 2, but we saw him have speed. It was just the equipment was holding him back a little bit. Well, now he's putting in a really good effort trying to make the move around the outside of that Ford machine of DiCianni, and he may have done just that, inching ever so slightly ahead, might really go into the corner. He was trying to pinch him down there, but I'll tell you what, the 4 said, I'm still here for the moment. The 12, though, clears him, gets the move done. Or so I thought.
Oh, he turns him. He turned down on him. There goes the 12 car sliding in turns 3 and 4. Caution's going to come out, and that changes everything. That's
the broadcaster's curse right there. I'm glad we got one of those in tonight.
I still think there's no such thing. I think it just happens to be coincidence. There's no way. I still don't believe in no commentator's curse. I think that's baloney. It was going to happen. That's just part of it. You just happen to say something.
It's the way you bring it up, though. It's all in the way you say beforehand.
It's just fate is what it is. 12 car got turned down on the 4, thought he was clear. He was not. Luckily for him, he doesn't lose very many spots. I mean, Hodgson sitting 14th. He didn't even become the lowest running playoff guy. So, I mean, not horrible right here. Everybody's going to come down to get 4 tires and gas. Nobody is going to risk it. You're going to take all 4 tires and gas. People are going down pit road right now. This is the money stop. If we go green to the end, they are not coming down pit road again. If we get a few cautions, maybe some might gamble. But for now, this is the money stop. Roman hits his pit stop perfectly. No problems there.
Yeah, this is going to decide a lot of how the rest of the race might go. Now, also, the checkered flag is within reach, so the cautions breed caution statement might really come out to play right now as all of the drivers stop for what should be 4 tires to set them up for a long, lengthy run to that green flag.
That didn't happen. Oh my gosh.
That did not happen. Wow.
Delaney, Hoffman, Robert Miller, Lucas Hoytsma, there's Roman, and it looks like the 65 of Sean O'Brien Jr. was able to gain a lot of spots with that pit cycle. That's going to help him out a lot. He knows he needs it too. He was 15 points out at the end of stage 2.
Again,
and right now, he needs.
That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like you depending on where you are in the race, that decides your strategy. And this was an opportune time to take 2 tires and get a ton of track position because everybody was condensed together. Will O'Brien probably lose some spots here? Most likely, right? He's going to struggle with 2 tires compared to everybody else. But if he's able to survive this chaotic restart, then hey, maybe he's got a shot.
You know, after all that pit cycle, the 12 car that spun across the nose of the 4 is ahead of the 4. And they're still within the top 15, it looks like. That just seems to be how these things go. Wild. Here we go. We're going to get the green flag with 62 laps to go here from New Hampshire. This is going to be the one that decides it all. The full-length Cup Challenge never disappoints at the end of these races. Here we go. We're back underway. Great restart for the entirety of the top 12. Holy cow. Huge jump for everybody.
Yeah, Delaney with another really solid restart. You see already Benefiel was wrapping that bottom there against the apron through the entry of 1, but did not stick with that line. That's something to keep an eye on as we see these drivers try to make the tires last longer than they've ever gone on a green flag stint so far tonight.
Oh, the 65 is sideways on the exit of turn 4. Stays on the bottom of the racetrack. No caution, but he loses multiple spots. This is not what he needed at all. Absolutely not what he needed.
Not at all.
Oh, heavy hit up ahead. Devin Medeiros. 62 Cliff Mullins involved. Cautions out.
Wow. All right, cautions are breeding cautions for sure.
Now, how did that happen is the question. Let's take a look at first. Let's see what happened to the 20 car, and then we'll go back, take a look, and see how the 65 got loose. He's on the bottom. He's got Tanner Marty behind him. He lifted. That was fine. 20 car just, oh, he just got loose.
Lost it.
Overcorrected up into the wall, collected Dave Hoitzma, heavy front end damage. Cliff Mullins trying to avoid spins. But that looks like that's who's involved in the accident there. Only like a 4 or 5 car incident there in terms of those that get contact. But surprised that 20 car is able to roll after that heavy contact.
Yeah, that is very, very heavy contact right there, especially for that 20 machine. Regardless, I wonder if he just hit it at the perfect angle not to get the damage he probably should have had, and maybe a softening of the blow from where he hit the other drivers. So interesting start to the 65's restart here. Was riding around on the apron along with Benefiel. I mean, tires just must not have. I mean, the strategy didn't work because the tires didn't help, right?
Yeah, cold tires. That's expected on these restarts. You're gonna have cold tires. Car just snapped loose.
Well, also
luckily he caught it.
Worn left sides too.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be the same thing as well. But cold rides don't help either. So
not at all. Not at all.
No.
He's lucky to avoid that mess. Now he's going to come down for 4 tires. Might as well.
Yeah, it's probably the right choice when you're falling back that far. It's the only option you really have. I'd like to see if we can talk somebody up front here. Let's talk to Delaney. One of if he's alive, we'll see if his mic is on or off. Nope, his mic is off, so we can't necessarily talk to Delaney. What if we talk to Clayton Hoffman in the 92? I think that'd be good. Let's see if we can't find Clayton. There he is. I will go ahead and bring him up here before this restart. We'll be able to talk to him. Clayton Hoffman, real quick. Kirk in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes.
Hey man, tell me, what are you planning to do on this restart, and how's the car been running?
Car's good, a little tight. I've been doing good for the most part. May have caused 2 massive pileups, but other than that, everything's good. On 2 tires, got 4 tires around me, and I low fueled, so I take more gas. So I got beat out of pit road. Now I'm P3, so not the ideal position I thought I was going to be in going into this caution. So we'll see what we can do.
All right, man. We wish you the best of luck. Hang on to that car. Yep, that was Clayton Hoffman. Remember, coming back from a lot of incidents, but now running third on 2 tires. Everybody else around him has 4. Here we go, back in the restart zone. We're back underway.
That's a ridiculously good jump there for Delaney. He's going to get away from all the mayhem that might occur here with the cautions breeding cautions theory. But Miller, Vroman, Hoffman, Hoitzma, all these drivers have speed. They're fast. They can make something happen here. And, it's getting down to the wire. Make your moves last now.
You got to gain everything you can on these restarts. You got to start pushing hard. But right now we're seeing that happen exactly up in the front. Battle right now. I see the 92. Remember Hoffman, we just talked to him. He just dropped back to 4th. Now he's under fire from Lucas Hoitzma on the top. And Adam Benefiel most certainly is going to be there looking to battle him on the bottom. Dyson all over the back bumper of Benefiel as well. Heading into turn 3. Will he make a move? He'll try the top lane.
This is awesome. Oh, you see those marbles up there. It's just gonna... I bet you there's gonna be more cars that are hanging with the marbles before this race ends.
It is wild to me how much marbles can actually develop here on the racetrack ever since the update. There seems to be a whole lot more, even though they won't say it had anything to do with it. I'll pretend like it does. 41 car. And he's just having a heck of a day. Still won the stage, running top 10, 40-something good to the good. And that guy's just having the time of his life right now. But they're wrecking in the back of the field. I see 1 car around. Huge crash. You got the 48, a Tyler Hunter getting spun around.
Cautions, breeding cautions.
Very jazz.
Man, you got to go with the jazz sound. It just... The Magic Mile has the vibe of a jazz track.
I thought St. Louis would be the one that had more of a jazz vibe, but I see what you're saying.
Rock and roll.
What? St. Louis. I mean, it's like one of the jazz capitals of the world, man.
I know. You got the Blues there. I got you. But they also have infernos that go off before the race.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Way slow out of turn 4 right there. Kind of brought that on himself almost.
It's racing hard at the tail end of these races. Tyler Hunter's a great driver. Just unfortunately wrong spot, wrong time, it looked like here. Battling with another playoff guy right there to his inside. You can see that there. It was a checkup. He was trying to check up so he didn't run into the back of the playoff driver, and instead he made contact with the car behind him. It was simply a driver trying to avoid contact. So kind of got a little respect for him for that. That's the right thing to do. But I hate that it led to contact in the wreck. It's just, I would have done the same thing.
Man, nah, get out of here with that. You still need to
I'll tell you. No, take a look. Like, in the announcement that they had when they first announced this race, one of the rules they talk about is right at the top. It says, all playoff, here we go. Non-playoff drivers have no excuse for driving recklessly around playoff contenders. Race hard with practice. Say that again?
That wouldn't have been reckless.
If he would have gotten into him, I mean, for 20th, that could have been considered.
I didn't think it was going to be reckless if he just took the spot. It felt like to me, the car, like, playoff driver in front felt a little bit reckless.
Oh, all right.
Big words.
I hear you.
Big statements.
But it does say that non-playoff drivers is what they're talking about.
Man, doesn't matter to me. I
get you. I don't like this playoff system because it makes people drive different at the end of the year when you're not in the
like in general, you're still you're both trying to run your race, right? It's like the championship 4. It always comes down to be kind in the championship 4, but that's not racing, right? Like that's not racing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Fight for every position.
I'm just glad that we agree on that one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of the NASCAR world would agree with us too. We're coming down to the end of this thing. 50 laps to go when we get the restart. And they're double file again. Robert Miller in the 15 car for the Altus Esport entry on the bottom. And on the top, Ralph Hutchinson Motorsport entry, Jonathan Delaney. Being pushed by his teammate, the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma. On the bottom of that second row, 95 of Nicholas Vroman. This is just a very talented front group of guys, and when we get this thing back underway, you just know they're going to try and get everything they can get on a start because that's where all the ground is made up. Here we go. Through turns 3 and 4 here at the Magic Mile. That pace car is diving down back into the pits, and we are about to get back underway. Good restarts, boys. Here we go.
Delaney had a great restart again. He's been phenomenal on these restarts, timing them well. The only time that he was sort of involved in the restart gone wrong was when it wasn't even him. It was Hoffman trying to jump the start, and Delaney just didn't go yet.
Three wide between some playoff drivers. The 8 car makes contact with the 12. They save the race cars, keeping them straight. But Ralph Hutchinson loses some spots there, almost outside the top 15. Oh, there goes Hoffman around in front of Dyson. He collects the 12 car involved. Oh, more cars spinning and crashing. No caution yet. Now the caution is out. That will do it. More playoff drivers involved in accidents, including our points leader, Andrew Dyson.
I'm also saying that I'm going to consider that a broadcaster's curse because I brought up Hoffman wrecking, and I didn't have to. And then 10 seconds later, he gets wrecked from Dyson kind of pushing him.
Luckily, I don't think that... Oh, he got hit a little hard in the left rear from the 88 of Kolmacheski, but not much for the 92. 41 as well. I mean, he just dove it in deep and looks fine here, no problem. Just trying to make a clean pass. Going into the corner. He lines it up behind Paul Hill. Dives it in. And just slide. I mean, that was the loosest part of the racetrack. So any amount of a hit would have sent the car around in that section of the racetrack. It's just so loose.
I mean, yeah, for sure. You know, if we do have to, you know, place fault of any sort, it's definitely on Dyson for that one. But it's so minuscule that, like you said, it's the loosest part of the track. If you get any kind of tap there, you're most likely going around. It's going to be hard to save it. And to his credit, Hoffman did a really solid job. It's just the rest of the field just starts piling in, like right there. And is that Hodgson? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. Heavy left front damage for Nolan Hodgson. Man, that car is just not having a good day. He was fast, running top 15 just fine. And then that happens, and it's not going to help them. They come down pit road to get that damage repaired, most certainly. And then when they get back out on the racetrack, we'll see how they stack up with the fresher tires.
That's a shame for Hodgson, right? We were talking about him having a really solid run, a solid race. Just doesn't end up going the way he wants to after that damage there. Bit of a reset here. Still have 27 drivers on the lead lap. Pretty remarkable, I would say, for sure, in terms of how many people are still here. So all these cautions, remember we were talking about cautions, bringing cautions, and yada, 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 have led to us going back to green with 45 laps to go. Do you think we're done wrecking?
Absolutely not. That ain't happening. This race, they're trying to get themselves into a championship spot. I think they're going to drive the wheels off the dang car. And what we saw in the truck race was any tall tale sign. You know, they're racing for real life out there, and they had like a very similar number of accidents. So honestly, I don't think it's over. You know, the quote Nickelback, or sorry, Daughtery, it's not over. Try to do it right this time around, but it's not over. Here we go. That pace car is going to dive back down into the pit road, and we'll see how well this restart goes. Double foul. Through the restart zone, we know that he can get a good jump. He sure does. We're back underway.
That's a big bit of pushing into the corner on that bottom line. Roman was not letting that low line kind of get away with anything right there. I think that was Miller. No, it was, it was Miller down on the bottom line that he was pushing down into the corner. We haven't talked much about him tonight. He's had his spurts up in the top 5. This is a great opportunity for him to cement himself for the rest of this race.
Nearly a wreck at the back. Yeah, big wreck. It concludes Dyson. Dyson, heavy contact involved in a wreck. Out of turn number 4. Big damage. Left front is broken on the 41. He is out.
Oh, boy.
He's sparking on the front straightaway. I can see sparks on the left front. I think he broke his left front tire. It's dragging the racetrack pretty bad. And he just got involved in an accident that wasn't of his own doing there. And the 8 car, we got to ride on board with the 8 car because I think he just had one of the scariest rides of his life. Ralph Hutchinson. Let's ride on board with him.
Oh my gosh. All right. So
left front damage as well to him. That's another playoff driver.
Significant left front damage. I wonder how much that's going to play a part. You can see just switching, kind of going back, how very evident that left front damage is.
That's actually not as bad as you'd think. I'm looking at it right now. It's more hood front end damage than it is side damage, is what it registered as. So I'm looking at the front splitter. That thing is caved in, destroyed on both the 41 and the 8 car. I think that's going to be a really big dent. The 8 car really did not need that to happen to him. The 98 of Williams just got loose, overcorrected, came back up into the 41, who in turn had the 8 car right there.
Did he get loose?
Oh, yeah, the 98 car? That was my understanding, yeah. 98. William Owens got into him.
I'm like, yeah, no, he didn't get loose there.
Yeah, but he got loose on the second part when he was trying to save the car and overcorrected into the outside.
You know what? That's
so technically we're good.
Oh man. There's been a lot of elbows, not really rubbing, but elbows being just catapulted into people's jaws in this race.
Dang.
And if this was a hockey world, we'd call a lot of 5-minute majors and game misconducts for some of the body-to-body contact we're seeing here.
Right now, we're going to have 41 laps to go whenever they cross the stripe this time by. We're going to get the 1 to go signal, I think, this time. 6 chooses the outside as they double up. But Dyson, way back in 26, started 18th. It's very unusual for him. With that wreck, that's going to make his buffer really short if he can't recover from this. He needs to be able to get that damage repaired and still be able to compete. But right now, he's a lap down, so he's out of the car. He's done. He disconnected. So Andrew Dyson is out. He will finish most likely in 29th. That is huge.
I mean, it opens the door up for so many opportunities for other drivers. Now, it is, you still expect him to bounce back, but we're about to go back to green flag racing, by the way, single file.
That comfort zone he was in is now gone. Single file restarts, back underway. 97 didn't get the best of restarts, but the 6 car sure did. Out and gone. Side-by-side battle now is for 4th. 26 of Paul Hill and 95 of Nicholas Vroman. Side-by-side for position.
I had this brief moment to think, wow, that was a clean restart right here. Well, obviously, single file. But that just goes to show you how less, how orderly single file restarts can be as we see more smoke. I'm just going to stop talking.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It's okay. There's no such thing as it. It's just it happened to be a coincidence. You're good, man. What I can say right now is the 12 car Nolan Hodson, though, he's on a mission. He's moving his way forward right now, trying to pass Dave Hoytsma as he's back in the back 20s. He needs every spot he can get to make him feel comfortable. I mean, going into this, he was just barely on the cut line. He cannot afford to finish outside the top 15 tonight. He absolutely cannot.
Well, it depends. Can he win at any of the next 2 races? Right? Like, you win and you move on. Doesn't matter what else you've done. But in terms of the point situation, yeah, you just can't afford an outside top 15 finish, especially the opportunity that presents itself tonight, right? To gain a lot of ground on drivers in the playoffs who are having problems.
The entirety of the top 13 or 14 cars are nose to tail, and they haven't necessarily left each other. So they're all in this giant single file line pack, with the exception of Vroman, who's been diving it in, trying to get by Paul Hill for the last handful of laps. Not able to get it done. He's still getting tight. Look out. Almost made contact that time.
Yeah, and the margins are going to get exponentially smaller as this race continues. You're going to see a little bit more antsiness, a little bit more willingness to, put the bumper on somebody, to just try and, drive up and use up that left side of a driver as you dive deeper into a corner. We've already started to see it, but now, like right there, the 95 just lets the 26 know, hey, I am right here. We got to get moving, buddy.
26 ain't going to give it up that easy. This is playoffs. You need every point you can get. So I don't think he's just going to give it to him. I think he's going to have to make the 95 earn it.
Could be a 2-point swing. Lose 1 position, but you lose 2 points.
Wow, you don't want to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
Roman cannot afford an incident. He needs to stay calm and collected, and because he was only 12 points to the good after the first and second stages. So he just needs to stay calm. He cannot afford to get in any incidents here, but he's choosing to drive extra difficult here. So, I mean, he's definitely trying to go for the win, and he can't judge him harshly for that, but that championship is very alluring.
Look at this angle. Oh, what a cool camera angle we've got right here. So close on corner entry, that 26 machine of Hill. Oh, remember, using up as much as you can. No contact there, but I can guarantee you that if we're a little bit later in this race, I wouldn't be shocked to see Roman start to lean on him a little bit, especially with Benefiel right there. He's not using that apron line anymore.
No, he is not. He has chosen to try and send it 3 wide here into turn number 3 and 4. That time he tried to use the apron. He's able to use it to help the car rotate slightly. And no change. Battle for 4th still rages on.
Man, this is fun. I think you can clear him now, though. You just got to clear up really quickly. Oh, look at that. The 83 came in and gave the assist to Roman right there. Benefiel said, hey, Hill, I'm here too. And I think, honestly, Hill would have had a really good opportunity to get back to the outside of Roman if Benefiel didn't just show up out of nowhere.
.30 laps to go. Delaney, Hoytsma, Miller, Vroman, Benefiel. Only one of those drivers are not playoff eligible. That is Robert Miller in the 15. Everybody else in that top 5 are playoff drivers. Then when you look at the top 10, O'Brien, what a recovery. Back up to 10th after almost losing it. He's back up to 10th. Trying to hang on to a good top 10 finish to help his day out, especially after the 41 has his troubles and the 12 car Nolan Hodgson having his troubles. That benefits O'Brien significantly.
Look at...
Looks like we might have some technical issues there. Still side by side for position.
Nope, I was just holding down the wrong button.
Oh, it's all good, Dylan. Go right ahead.
I was going to say the 65 of O'Brien has some of the freshest tires in this field, especially around the people that he's fighting against. Probably 12 lap fresher tires than anybody in the top 10. Just goes to show you the impact, the benefit of those fresher tires that he did take with around 46, 50 laps to go. Now, other drivers in the field also have even fresher tires, not by too much, but at least a little bit more. Clayton Hoffman in P12 has tires that are 20 laps old. O'Brien with ones 25 laps old. Everybody else pretty much 37 laps old. Look at the stint on there. It's going to play a big difference if we go green the rest of the way.
I think that 65 could be on a mission if he gets lucky, gets a few cautions, might be in a position to where he might be able to sneak a top 5 out of this, which would be phenomenal considering his day has not been the best thing we've ever seen. But the tire strategy seems to be on his side right now.
It certainly does. And you saw Hoffman take that little peek as well down the inside going. You see him, he's going to be aggressive. And he should be, right? He's got the freshest tires. He's got to take advantage of it as this race starts to reach its crescendo here. But there's a lot of opportunity to gain points and gain spots before this race ends for both the 65 and the 92.
Update for you. Andrew Dyson out of the race. Ralph Hutchinson also out of the race. Both drivers are out. That means they will finish tonight in 29th and 28th as they're side by side for position right here. Miller, Vroman, or third.
Oh boy, it got tight. Did it not?
Sure did.
It really did. And that gap, by the way, that Delaney has had on Hoytsma, I feel like it's come down ever so slightly in the last couple laps.
if we're looking at the lap times, that will tell us a big hint. Can we take a look at the last lap times here for Delaney, Hoytsman, and the rest of them? Right there, I mean, less than half a tenth for the top two, but everybody else is losing time. Yeah, less than half a tenth over the course of 23 laps to go makes it extremely difficult for them to catch up. He needs to be saving something in the tank for 10 laps to go to start pushing. We'll see what he chooses to do as we're having a side-by-side battle now with Paul Hill and Cameron Stone in the 57.
Man, that 57 machine, that Coors Light machine, that looks so good on the track. And I'll tell you what, he's been everywhere from up in the top 5 to way back around 30th. He is having a heck of a day to write home about.
Coming down, 21 laps to go. What will Hoytsma have for Delaney in the long run? We know that Delaney's car is not really set up for long runs, but we also know that he's one of the fastest guys out there.
Oh, you saw that wiggle right there. I think that was from Vroman, and the last time by, he was the fastest car on track.
Man, oh man, down to the end of these things always gets me hyped. Look out, that 83, I think he's smelling blood. He wants to get on by. If he's able to make the job done on the bottom of the racetrack, definitely upset the car in front of Roman.
Hey, you used that before.
Yes, I did in the previous broadcast. It's one of my favorite noise that we got, the Jaws theme, of course. If you ever were with us whenever we had Justin Prince in here and we played that particular soundbite, he called, real quick, if you were going to sing that song, Dylan, how would you say it? Just the 2 notes. How would you do it?
Dun-dun.
That's right! Yes! Exactly!
What?
So, JP, Justin Prince, a couple weeks ago, says ding ding, and I'm like, what?
Are you kidding me?
No joke. We're looking here at this battle for position, and it's all I can think about is ding ding now. Look out, 83's trying to get through. I think the 83 has some speed on the long run. I think he might have a shot here if he's able to get by 95 here.
Well, Benefield definitely has some speed, has some momentum. Vroman, though, he's not making life easy. I have a feeling, though, the apron's about to be used up mightily by the 83 right here. Nope, my feeling was incorrect. That's some elbows out.
No, I don't understand that reference. I know people do that, but man, it's aggressive. That's all I like to hear. At 83, will he use them up? I don't think so. Maybe they're trading spots like crazy. Yep, that time he was able to clear. 83 has a new target in mind.
Yeah, so the 83 definitely put himself in a position where if the 95 doesn't lift, they're both wrecking. That was kind of the deal right there. He throttled up mid-quarter and kept it inching ever so slightly higher on quarter exit. And Vroman at that point is like, all right, buddy, it's your spot. I take it and go. I'm very curious to see if Benefield is going to have a shot here. Hoytsma has fallen back, so.
Let's do some math here. We got about 15 laps to go, 14 when they cross the stripe. Benefield is currently 1.4 seconds behind the leader, Delaney. So that means he would need to gain about a tenth a lap. That's right, 10th a lap. Basic math there. So let's see what he did that particular time. 14 laps to go this time. He is currently 1.5 back from the leader in terms of speed. He was a little slower than the leader that time by 0.2. But Benefield's able to somehow maintain and carry that momentum. I think that Benefield has some chance here. Very small.
It was only 3,500ths their last lap time between, or 35 thousandths, I should say, between Delaney and Benefield. This time by, it was, all right, so it's 800ths, or I should say, 700ths in the record of Adam Benefiel. Not enough, but positive direction.
I think it will be enough to get to his back bumper. I think if he's able to make quick work of Hoytsma, that 83 has a chance of chasing down Delaney. I have no doubt in my mind that's something that can happen if he's able to get by Hoytsma quickly. That's the biggest rule here. He also needs to gain about another half a tenth this lap or over the course of the next couple of laps. Looks like he's falling back or just maintaining within a tenth of a second. That time, Benefiel still sitting with a 1.3 in terms of the gap from him to the leader.
The problem is he's right in that dirty air from Hoytsma. And not only that, but he's going to have to try and get past Hoytsma as well, right? So it's not just as clean cut as being 1.3 seconds back of the leader. It's 1.3 seconds back of the leader and 4/10ths back of another driver. So this is where that discussion about decisiveness comes into play. You got to make the move happen the moment you have the opportunity.
Looking at the cars on track, the closest battles that I'm seeing on track anywhere is right now between the 65 and the 92. They are battling really hard back here. This is for top 10 finishing position. The 92 trying to make the bottom line work. Two playoff drivers fighting for position. Using the apron. Not able to get the run off. Not happening quite yet. There you go, just like that. Still battling hard. Dustin Hall with the front row seat. As it looks like we have a battle also up ahead of this. Robert Miller and Cameron Stone. Cameron Stone was able to make a move on Robert Miller down to the inside, and I think he's going to be able to clear him heading into 3.
Yep, Stone trying to just drift higher and take away that line, does so very well and will get that top 5 position. All of them just scraping against the wall. Miller is right on Stone. Stone very late on the brakes and way up into that middle groove. Should be able to keep it quite easily here. As an update for that top 3 battle, times and gaps and differences have not changed a bit. This is Delaney's race to lose.
Delaney has been one of the drivers who has needing to have been overcoming all sorts of calamities that happen. He'd have a fast car go out there, have a different cycle pit stop, get collected with somebody else's mess, and then wouldn't be able to finish the race. But right now, with 7 laps to go, about to be 6 laps to go, that leader is in the mindset now of, okay, I can win this. I know I can. And if I lock myself in the playoffs, I get a free weekend next 2 weekends if you really want to. They'll start building on the round of 8 round of 8 setups.
That 83 machine is, I mean, now the real battle is just, can you get in second, right? It's still that idea of the 2-point swing with Hoytsma being that driver coming into the race as the cut line, both he and Paul Hill just 2 points above Clayton Hoffman. Benefiel is one of those drivers that needs to have these swings. This is a great race for him so far. Being able to get back into P2 before the night is over would make this a fantastic event.
I mean, it already has been, as we got a side-by-side battle. Look out, 3 wide to 65 involved. He lost 2 spots. Sean O'Brien Jr. just lost 2 spots on the racetrack. He's fallen the wrong direction as the battle now between one of who is it? That is Dustin Hall and the 92 of Hoffman. This is all for a top 10 finishing position. Hoffman has it now. Dustin Hall wants it.
All Delaney is saying is, please don't wreck, guys. Please do not wreck. This is Delaney's race if the caution does not come out. If the caution comes out, throw everything away because we have no idea what's going to happen. as Murray tries to get a position on Gitter. This is the tail end of that, or this is right behind that stone battle that we were just seeing a number of laps ago. Gitter is holding on to that spot, runs a lower line. The 7 goes around that middle groove, is going to try and wrap around and get to that rear right quarter panel. Oh, that was tight.
Both are non-playoff drivers trying to make that line work. But up front, Jonathan Delaney just took the 2 to go signal. And it looks like when he comes through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, next time by, this is it. Here we go. Jonathan Delaney out of turn number 4 is going to get the white flag. 1 lap to lock himself into the round of 8. One of the top prospects in the entire series. Was an ex-Coke driver, somebody who's able to win races, have speed week in and week out. Came in here and showed that he started in 4th, but throughout the race made his way forward. And coming out of turn number 4, Jonathan Delaney will win in New Hampshire for the full-length Cup Challenge and lock himself into the round of 8.
I think he's certainly promoted from prospect to bona fide driver in this series with his 4th win of the year. Dude's fast, and he showed why tonight. Every restart he was challenged. Every restart. He did a phenomenal job. Even the one that he was involved in that wreck, it wasn't on him. His teammate comes over, gives him a little bit of a, hey, good job, buddy. O'Brien did an awesome job tonight. Didn't get the result he wanted, but seems like a popular win.
Yeah, a lot of guys respect him. He's one of the nicer guys out there to watch. He's going down on the front stretch now, and this is my favorite part of the whole thing. Gets to a point where he feels comfortable, and then he's just going to mash that gas, drop the clutch, and do a burnout right here on the front straightaway, just like that. Putting on a smoke show for all them virtual computer fans out there and you folks watching the broadcast. Jonathan Delaney is the winner here from New Hampshire. When we come back, we'll take a look at our finishing results. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Don't leave yet. We got brought interviews to come and finishing results. It's going to be worth your time. Be sure to stick around. Here we go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
After a long, exciting race here in New Hampshire, Jonathan Delaney comes out victorious here for the full-length Cup Challenge and solidifies himself to the round of 8 and one of the top drivers in contention for the championship this year. Let's take a look at our finishing results here from New Hampshire. Right on the board now. Winning the race again, Jonathan Delaney ends up getting the job done, followed by our second place finisher, Lucas Hoitzma. What a night for him, able to come back from adversity, started 8th, gets back up to second place. You can see that there. Adam Benefiel, able to hang on to the third place finishing spot. Top 3, we'll hear from all 3 of those drivers here in shortly. Finishing in 4th tonight with a great top 5, Nicholas Roman. And right behind him, Cameron Stone having a much-needed good night tonight, finishing 5th, followed by Robert Miller, Paul Hill, Patrick Gitter, Alex Murray, and Clayton Hoffman coming back after those crashes to get a top 10.
Yeah, pretty impressive job from all of them in the top 10. Dustin Hall finishes in 11th. Sean O'Brien will recover to finish in 12th. Matt DiCiani in 13th. Nolan Hodson in P14, with Tyler Hunter a good recovery to 15th. Bobby Anderson, Tanner Marty, Evan Mesnard, Thomas Kulmazeski, excuse me. I mispronounced. Kulmacheski. There we go.
It took me weeks. It's fine.
William Owens in P20.
21st tonight will go the way of Ryan Strunk, able to get 21st tonight. 22nd, Cliff Mullins, followed by Dave Hoitzma, Kevin Zosiak, and that will round out all your lead lap finishers. Followed by Devin Medeiros, 2 laps down. Matthew Boston Wheeler, get 26. Ralph Hutchinson, playoff driver, big problems tonight, 27th. 28th, Andrew Dyson, followed by Stephen Williams and Paul Gallimore in 30th.
Neil Pearson, Daniel Llewellyn, Alex Princeton, and Joseph Galata round out your 34-car field.
Well, just like that, why don't we get ourselves the winner of this dang race up in here? Let's see if we can't find him. I'm sure we'll be able to drag him up here in just a second if we can't find him. Here we go. I know he's around here somewhere. There he is. All right, we'll drag him up now. All right. Jonathan Delaney, Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, man, you got the job done. You're locked into the round of 8. How's it feel, man?
Feels good, man. Relieves a lot of stress and pressure going into these next 2 races at Kansas and then the Roval. So feeling really good. We had a really dominant car tonight, and I'm really glad we were able to finish off the race and take the win. So, yeah.
Well, dude, I got to ask you, you kind of had a moment there where you weren't near the front for a little while whenever you were in the strategy of the 3rd stage and 2nd stages, whenever we had that crazy amount of wrecks. Tell me, Jonathan, what was it like to be able to go from the back up to the front and stay where you were all night? Trying to ride up on the front row was kind of difficult considering all the different strategies. How did you handle it all to get to this point?
Yeah, definitely a lot of strategy calls tonight, and it's kind of hard to know and tell which one's going to be the correct one. So you just got to try and try and get lucky and hope your strategy works out. Yeah, we had a lot of cautions tonight, so staying out and keeping the track position was really key, as it is every week. Logan Sheets helps cruise me and spots me. He did a great job helping with strategy calls for everybody tonight, and deciding when we should pit and all that. So he did a great job, as always, helping with that. It was just knowing when to take the 2 tires, or if we're taking 4 tires, seeing trying to figure out how much fuel we're putting in the car. All that stuff, he just does a fantastic job with, and so huge shout out to him. But and then it falls on to me too as a driver to make sure that his strategy he calls for works out. So we were kind of adjusting the car all night, with us taking 2 tires and going back to 4 tires, and then short fueling a little bit, and then all that. So kind of lost a little bit of the handling of the car around lap 200. We that's when we lost the lead, around that 200, 220 mark. And we were just struggling too tight, but we were able to put an adjustment in, and it was a lot better. So the car, those last 40 or so laps or whatever it was, the car was perfect. We were just able to stay up front, maintain the lead, and came home with the win. So, yeah.
Well, I got to ask you a couple final questions. First thing is, anybody you want to shout out? And also, what would you say, what is one thing that you want to tell the rest of the playoff drivers going into the round of 8?
Okay. So first, I'd like to thank everybody at RHM for all the support and help every week. Ralph Hutchinson, especially, he puts these sets together every week and never disappoints. So shout out to him. Like I said, huge shout out to Logan Sheets for all the strategy calls. Shout out to Lucas with a good run, and then Sean had a good run tonight as well. So hopefully we get all those guys into the round of 8. And what I would say for everybody else trying to get in the round of 8, I'm locked in and you're not. I'll say that.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's good. That's pretty good, man. All right. Thanks for talking with us, Jonathan.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll hear from you next week. Have a good time and have some fun on your off time.
Will do. Thank you.
That was our winner. Now let's bring in our second place finisher, Lucas Hoitzma, having a heck of a day. Lucas Hoitzma is with Dylan.
Lucas, really, really solid day, and you were only a couple points above the cut line coming into the round of 12. You've definitely given yourself a little bit more breathing room heading into the next 2 races, but just take us through the day. I know it wasn't one spot greater than what it was, but you can't be too upset with a second place finish.
Definitely not, especially when you lose to a teammate who was helping you out the whole race. I probably wouldn't have been there if he wasn't helping me out on restarts and stuff, so appreciate him for that. And just started out kind of mediocre, was falling back on that first stage, and I think the hot track was really hurting me. So once the sun kind of came down, the track cooled off, I was getting a lot better, loosened the car up a little bit. And at stage 2, I started really moving. The cautions were killing us just over and over and over again. We were on the wrong strategy, it felt like. So I ended up just coming down and taking the fuel when I thought we'd go green, and that ended up helping me out, got me some track position to get some stage 2 points, and then that set me up a track position for the rest of the race. And luckily we ended up going green there at the end. We had a really strong long run car, and that showed at the end there. I think that 83 was still a little faster than me, but luckily the dirty air was able to keep him behind, and I was able to take home a second place finish. I'm super happy with this.
Yeah, actually, on top of that question, going off of the dirty air, obviously New Hampshire is a big mechanical grip kind of track, but you're still obviously going to have that aero tightness from being in traffic. How much did that affect you throughout the race today?
The aero tightness isn't so much there. It's just an overall loss of grip. But you can't really put a finger on it because it feels like when you're driving behind somebody, it's pretty normal. But the car obviously stops at about 4 or 5 tenths behind the car in front. So there's some sort of wall there. It's got to be dirty air, and it makes it really tough because you try to move up and you just end up losing time, or try the apron. I saw Adam, again, he was making that work, especially at the start of the race. I don't know how he was doing that, but I was just kind of stuck in the middle, and that pretty much helped me out the whole race because I was the strongest there anyway.
All right, man. Well, hey, here's the moment to give a shout out to whoever you'd like to thank for tonight's race, and give your thoughts for next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a huge shout out to my family for watching. Everybody at RHM. It's been an awesome season so far. This is another strong week. I can't wait to finish out the season. Everybody at Low Drag, 712 Brakes, Wanted Goons, everybody who puts this thing on, and everybody who raced clean tonight. I think that doesn't get said enough.
All right, Lucas Hoitzma, congratulations again on that second place.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And Kirk, you might have to drag him. There you go. I don't have the infield care.
It's all right, man. It's all good. We're going to go ahead and pull in our third place finisher tonight, Adam Benefield, in the 83, heading up here to talk to us. Adam Benefield, Kirk Mills in the booth. Got a copy?
Yep.
Hey, Adam, what a heck of a night. You're the only driver out there I saw trying to make that apron work. That was one heck of a drive to be able to come back to finish third. Tell me, what was it like at the end there? You were the fastest car on track coming down to the end of that thing, but then everything stalled out. How did it feel to be able to get a nice third place finish today?
That sucks.
Oh, how come, man? What happened?
Well, I mean, you got a car like that. You said it yourself. You got a car like that and you finish third. Kind of sucks.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Adam. I tell you what, some good news for you is this. I mean, you're pretty comfortable 24 above the cut line right now for the playoffs. So it could be, obviously it could have been locked in, but it's just that track position stuff. Let me ask you, Adam, in that second stage, whenever you were able to go and deal with all these wrecks at the tail end of the field, you had to drop back to the back 20s. What kept you going to be able to go, I'm not going to finish back here, and then get back up to the front?
Oh, I mean, we pitted right there because it was a strategy call. We could make it to the end of the stage, so that's why we went down. So if it would have went green like it would every other time, we were going to be. I think we were going to be sitting in catbird seat. But I mean, it wasn't really. The car was just. I mean, the car was that good. Like I could run anywhere, and then when we got the cautions back to back to back, it kind of dirtied the bottom, and it kind of took that line away from me. Real quick to go back to that, I absolutely jumped Evan Mesnar out of 4, and that was 110% unintentional. I got a 2 wide call, and in the very last minute, as we were making contact, the spotter said 3 wide. So I want to apologize to him. I did not mean to do that. But yeah, we just worked our way back up, and track temp. The more the track temp falls, the better everybody's car starts to feel. And I mean, we were still fast. We were ungodly fast. We got set back and had to fight through it. And I don't know. I think if we could have restarted up there a little bit closer on that last one, maybe I think we could have had something for John. It's just dirty airs sucks once you get that far into a run, and then you're racing guys like freaking Broman and Lucas and Delaney and them. Like they're no slouches. Like I finally just had to go in there and kind of put Broman in a situation to where you're either going to give it to me or we're both going to it's a bad situation. So I had to go.
Force the issue.
Yeah, I had to force it. So
yeah, I get you.
But it just sucks, man. You got a car like that and freaking finish third. Sucks.
I'm sorry, man, but still, the bright side is that you're sitting 24 points above the cut, and that's a lot better than most of the folks that are struggling tonight. But still, great finish for you all together. Obviously, you want something better, but is there anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to Brandon Hastings. He didn't make it back from New Hampshire. They had the truck race today, so he climbed up on the box, and he was huge with strategy and just helping up on top of the box. He's a hell of a crew chief, so anytime I can have him up there, I take full advantage of it. So big thanks to him. Thanks to everybody at Team Conti Sim Performance. Shout out to Kyle Ammon painting the beautiful cars, even though it's the same car, same color. He's done little things to tweak it, and all the special paints he's done this year always had me looking good. Bobby and Bryson, everybody puts this league on. It's fun, looking, something to look forward to every week. And yeah, y'all for broadcasting. I got a request. Next time Delaney wins and I finish somewhere in the top 3, interview the other 2 people before you interview him. He talks way too much. So do that.
Okay.
Please. And learn how to read lap times. You were saying I was 0.2 off. Thank God for Dylan. I was 0.02 off. That hurts my feelings, Kurt.
I'm sorry, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
I had to mess with you, Kurt.
Only thing I can do is smile and wave, man.
No, I appreciate y'all. Y'all are a hell of a group, and I enjoy watching it.
All right. That is nice. All right. Thank you, Adam. All right. Hope you have a good luck next week and able to get a win next week. Okay, buddy?
Appreciate it.
Yep, you got it. There you go. That'll do it for us here. Let's take a look here. Let's talk to Dylan. Dylan, what did you think about that particular race, and what are you thinking about next week?
It was awesome. I could have done with a little bit less chaos, but honestly, it's a full field of really, really fast, really good drivers. Excited to, in the future, be a part of the series again. I don't believe I will be in the booth with you next Saturday, but I'm excited to keep an eye on everything because this is a really good series, and we had a really good race at a track that is difficult to pass on.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we are ready to say the cut line. Matt DeCiani moves 2 to the good. Nolan Hodgson, 2 out. 7 out for Cameron Stone. Sean O'Brien Jr., 15 out, and 27 out for Ralph Hutchinson. Big deal for those drivers. We'll go over that next week when we hit Kansas Speedway, September 27th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in for some more boogities as we go to Kansas. Going to be one heck of a race. I'm tired, man. Here we go. That's it for the night. Dylan Coyle, DJ Lion in the booth. Having a lovely time here this afternoon. Thanks so much for tuning in for the Full Length Cup Challenge. We'll see you next week in Kansas. Goodbye, everybody.